I accidentally closed out the last. Um, damn transmission, broadcast, whatever stream. I'm gonna hop into general space and see what's going on there. We'll see how we do.
And I don't even screw the puns. That's just what it is. Like something big is going to happen out of this, guys. I really see it happening. So many people are speaking about this. Not only did Netanyahu like tweet out, I think 20 minutes after it happened, but shit, I'm kind of beside myself. And we were speaking on the Gideon thing earlier, just a little bit. I know this is random, but I, I think that the CRS is meant to be abolished. So like this pre-crime AI Gideon shit will be put in there to basically take that job over. It's that job, but with AI. Like that's what it would do. It's literally if the Palantir one is a kill switch, and it does all the executions and determinations and saying yes and then do it. That's what Gideon's going to be for this. Except I just I'm beside myself, guys. I really am. If you guys know what I mean by the AI stuff,
yeah, it's got to be a problem. But
doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, but to your point, I just made a post. Look up in the jumbo. There's a Gen Z out there in the streets shouting, "White man fight back, white man fight back." They're chanting it. So the game has changed. People are sick of it. They're ready to fight. They're ready to fight back, and it's not going away. This is how it is, and they're flying flags, Jesus flags, and things like that. They're not gonna. The game is over for this bullshit of what they've been doing. I don't think the CRS being wrapped up with Gideon, I don't think they're gonna keep allowing this. I mean, Elon Musk himself, he made a post. What was it? Yesterday, where if they won't leave us in peace, then our choice is fight or die. This is what Elon posts out there yesterday. So, and then you got young guys out there saying, "White man fight back, white man fight back." Enough of this nonsense of them just being able to kill everybody without, with impunity. That's all the civil rights was, guys. The civil rights is simply a license to kill white people. And we've seen it. The blacks have killed 148,000 white people in the United States since the civil rights. That's more Americans than died in World War I. And they're just getting a slap on the wrist. And we all know how these people got civil rights. We all know why they're in our country. Charlie Kirk called it out. Charlie Kirk himself called it out. The Jewish donors are the ones responsible for flooding our country with the third world. And they don't like that. They don't want them being put on blast for this. These people are the ones responsible, and it's getting real. People are, and when Elon Musk is posting that out, I mean, that's a call for violence. Fight back or die. What does that mean? What does that mean when Elon Musk says they're not going to leave us in peace? They're not going to leave on their own. It's going to be a fight. You can either fight back or you can die. And then you got the kids running out in the streets chanting, "White man fight back." This isn't going to be, and then having Charlie Kirk assassinated after that by the very people that he was pointing out and calling out all this time. It's going to be, the game is going to change. And I don't think it's going to go in the way that all these people, I mean, we were in a space earlier before this one, and you had blacks in there saying, "You can never deport us." Like, you have no idea how many population exchanges and how many of these situations we've been in before and push people out. This isn't a game anymore. You have people full-blown radicalized. You have all these people saying, I thought I was radicalized, and then this happened with Charlie Kirk, and now I'm really radicalized. So, and these are young Gen Zs that are out here saying it. I saw a meme this morning of Charlie Kirk. They have that dam, and they have Charlie Kirk's face on the dam, and behind it they have just the armies of everybody ready to completely obliterate everything. And the meme says, you have no idea what the fuck you just did. Because Charlie Kirk was the voice of reason. Charlie Kirk was the voice of reason. If you're going to assassinate the voice of reason, then the next guys that come along are going to be the guys who obliterated the Nazis. That's what's going to be next. They want to call everyone a Nazi. We're not Nazis. We're the guys who obliterated the Nazis. You think the Nazis were bad? Guess what? We obliterated them. So, again, I don't think they have any idea what the hell they just did. You know, they just assassinated the voice of reason. And now you have, like Twiddle said, 1 million people rising up that are going to be far more radicalized and push the message that Charlie Kirk was pushing, but they're going to do it in an extreme way. They're not going to be the voice of reason. They're going to be the voice of force, zero tolerance. And that's what's coming. And that's what they've done. And Israel's responsible for it. They're going to be the ones that take the brunt of this, and all their bioweapons that they flooded into the West are going to be the brunt of it. And it's going to be the banking class that gets obliterated by Trump. So, yeah, good luck to them. And again, I have the post up in the jumbo. It's not going to go well for these guys. But yeah, Twiddle, if you want to respond to that, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be brief. Just looking at some of this stuff, man. Not just that protest, but the protest is also here on X. Like, some of these posts are calling for some extreme things. Like, right off the bat, Cernovich had posted something like, literally, he wanted Soros, everybody, every single dollar accounted for that has led to something that was involved with some sort of NGO or protest or anything. He wanted all of it accounted for. We got Matt Walsh, literally, I said the same thing. He says, I woke up angrier. I want justice for Charlie. Everyone responsible, everyone's celebrating, which is some of that really disgusting stuff I've been seeing on X with people celebrating this dude being killed. Yes, everyone's celebrating. Everyone who encouraged this or fomented it in any way, I want them all held to account. They want us dead. They're killing us. It says, now is not time for kumbaya stuff. This is real. This is real life. Like, what I saw yesterday is going to be ingrained in my head forever. That's a 9/11 for some people. I mean, it depends on where you are, but like I was in middle school with 9/11, but it's ingrained forever. But like with this, I'm a fully adult. I have a fully developed brain. I know what I'm looking at. I know how to discern shit, and yeah, this is huge. This is absolutely huge, and I think that even with the Trump's 4-minute speech that he had on this, he needs to come out again today. Something more needs to be said. Then this guy I see celebrating, cheering, and dancing. Well, everyone literally has their fucking heads down, like they should be in this sort of situation. This guy is fist bumping both hands into the air. That guy needs to be found immediately. And God, just I'm irate. I didn't go into work today. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not doing it. I'm liking to just. I talked about this earlier. That whole thing with Charlotte. I was ready to quit my job, and like I want change. I want change so bad that I'm willing to quit my job, and that's how Imagine how I feel. Imagine how most of the other country feels, because Charlie was a person that spoke to the youth. So all these young people, yeah, you think you pissed off? It's just, you guys have no idea. They have no idea. They really don't. They have no fucking clue. I'll land it there because I'll just ramble. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make sure you still live and eat, but at the same time, yeah, dude, at some point, this is gonna become more important than all of our jobs, and this very well may have been that catalyst. But Long Island posted a screenshot of that guy that was the dancing Israeli. In my opinion, I mean, look at that guy's nip. And like you said, everyone else is crouched, and he's looking at exactly where the shooter's at and standing up and cheering. I mean, it's that is sickening as a human. That the whether this guy was connected with the shooter or not, it appears that he was very excited about Charlie Kirk being murdered. Just like we saw so many videos yesterday of just lefty after lefty cheering and clapping because a father was murdered. I mean, whether it was Israel or not, this is pushing America towards a civil war. We're pretty unprecedented times here in America. It's kind of crazy, and I'm glad we're able to discuss it all out. But if we could get the hands, this app is garbage. But I know Fuzzy was next, and then we can get to Deb and Angry American. Or I think Angry American's first. Go ahead, Angry American, jump in there, buddy.
Oh, no, you're good. Let me be Frank, I think, had the hand up first, because I noticed he had it up before me, so if we want to go to Frank, and then I'll go afterwards.
2 seconds, Frank. All right. Oh, there he is.
I don't know if you can hear me okay.
No.
Yeah, that was the moment like 9/11 where I pulled over in my car and I realized, oh my God, this is going to change. This is a pivotal moment. And I was shocked, but also at the same time kind of not surprised. And then, just this whole day I've just been thinking, about all these operations that we keep witnessing, and the obscure things like Leanna West. She was a pivotal part of COVID, and she was also the doctor that was at the emergency room after the Boston bombing. So it's just like one thing after another, and I'm getting tired of it. And every day it's like you wake up and you think, okay, it can't get any weirder, it can't get any crazier, can it? And then shit like this happens. So yeah, man. I feel kind of bad because I did the whole Charlie Tuck thing. I was never vile or rude. Just I would use the Tuck thing because I was hoping to get through to him. And like somebody else earlier said, bullying is okay if it's not mean. I didn't mean to be mean, but I was trying to say, hey, bro, you need to wake up. And unfortunately, he, I guess, was, which I didn't notice. And then, like a lot of us didn't, because those don't go viral, as I said, and now he's gone. So, R.I.P. Thanks for letting me speak.
Yeah, I hold a little bit of guilt myself, Frank. But yeah, Angry American, jump in there.
Hey, thanks for having me up. I keep a pretty intensive network, and through that network, I usually try to make sure that I keep what's seen by most people as a moderate position, because it helps me understand kind of what the normies have going on, and across all the different people I've asked and all the things that they're hearing. We're right in how upset even the average, moderate to conservative normal person is. But it looks like what we're going to have to run into is the biggest issue, is that the framing of this is going to be turned into a left versus right paradigm, which I do see the left as like the useful idiots of the Bolshevik Revolution, and they've got plenty of guilt to be had for it. But whenever you're talking to people out there and bringing them to our cause, the framing and making sure they see enemy number one is Israel, or the main perpetrator is Israel, is going to be the next battle that we have to fight. The bloodthirst is very real, even amongst people who would always tell you that they never condone violence. The paradigm there has shifted so far to the right. But just keep that in mind as you're going through and talking with people. The next battle that we have is to make sure that they stay focused on who enemy number one is, and we don't accept the pawn that Israel's going to throw to us, right? Because right now they know the walls are closing in so badly that they're going to sacrifice every arm and leg they can in order to then get cozy with the right, who's typically been very friendly with them. So that's words of wisdom that I have for today. Thanks for having me on, and loving the space today. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Avery. America is waking up to all kinds of different avenues at a high level. It is going to be interesting what comes out of this, and we all have that feeling or something is kinetic, something bigger is coming. Fuzzy, jump in there.
What is it? Blessed one? I don't know what it is that you want me to explain myself. You can ask a question or something. I try not to interrupt the space too much.
Long. A couple of things that are sticking in my head, and if somebody has any information or cares to enlighten me, I'd gladly take a different perspective. But the videos that came out about them asking during a congressional session to stop and pray, and the Democrats all.
The reason why people are thinking that it's Israel is because the one patsy, the one decoy, he was Jewish, the old guy that they arrested at first. So there's that obvious connection right there. The fact that Charlie started speaking out against Israel at Turning Point USA in Tampa, against the I don't know if y'all remember a couple weeks ago, the big thing was they were trying to get disaster assistance from FEMA. You had to basically declare loyalty to Israel, that you wouldn't boycott them and all that shit. It's like, why the fuck? And so Charlie started speaking out against them there. He started noticing more of the race issue and everything, and so it just has the appearance of a Mossad operation, because they had not one but two decoys that they used as patsies to let the shooter get away. We're not going to find that shooter. I heard about the airplane transponder and everything of the private jet earlier. They were talking about it. I haven't vetted that information, so I don't know if it's legit or not. But usually Rush doesn't bring stuff up unless he's vetted it a little bit. So that's my thinking on it. Yeah, I'll get back to the space.
I get tired of feeling like a puppet on a string. I'm real tired of it. There's no honesty. There's no nothing. We're all left in the dark with little clips and pieces and trust this and this, that. It's too much. And people are dying, and it's time we all figure this out, how to be human again, how to be human people that love and respect and care for one another. So anyway, I know I'm not making much sense, but it's just insane to me. So I'm gonna drop down. Thank you guys. Great show. God bless, and make sure you tell the people you love that you love them every day, and it's a gift, honestly. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Deb. There's a lot of. I just put it up. This was shared in the group chat. This is go ahead and look up in the Jumbotron that it was asked to Greg who was the first one to tweet and how long after the shooter was the tweet. And it says Benjamin Netanyahu was the first to tweet about Charlie Kirk shooting at 1721 Eastern EDT on September 10, 2025. The shooting occurred approximately 20 minutes into Kirk's speech, which started at 2 p.m. And then it goes on to say, based on reports of the event timing, this place Netanyahu tweeted roughly 80 minutes after the shooting. So Netanyahu was the first one to blast this out there before anyone else had any reporting whatsoever. You know, no one else had released any of the information, and somehow he knew. Somehow he knew he was able to post that out there before everybody else. You know, imagine that.
That would be an obvious another reason that because Netanyahu jumped in there and got ahead of it and tried to make it like an issue for Israel right away. So that's another reason that Israel's automatically tied to this.
Again, it's Israel, and he's doing that to show off. He's doing it saying that it is Israel doing this. And for all you people, there's another clip from a pastor that came up.
The time's on the screen right there. You can't see the screen. 1721 is when it happened, and he did it 80 minutes after the shooting.
At this point, now it's when you assassinate somebody, you want to make sure that they're dead, right? So it makes sense that Netanyahu was the one sitting there and monitoring. Is he dead? Is he dead? Did he die? Is he actually? Did we really take him out? Like, give me a report. Let me know. Give me a report. Let me know. And as soon as he got the report, he posted it out before anybody else. So that's the way it works, guys. It's right in your face. All the evidence points straight to Israel because Charlie Kirk was starting to expose them on a massive scale to his massive audience. There's no one else. And I'll say it again. I said it at the beginning of the show, but Charlie Kirk didn't say Iran's coming for me. He didn't say, oh, Hamas is coming for me. He didn't say anyone else was coming for him except for Israel. He was worried that Israel was going to kill him, and he had let other influencers and other journalists know this. His team let them know this a month before he was assassinated. And then you have Netanyahu doing this, and you have all the other evidence across the board. It's not a secret, guys. It's extremely obvious if you have a brain at who was the one behind Charlie Kirk's assassination. It was Israel, 100%.
Yeah, it's hard to deny that it's Israel at this point. I mean, it looks so obvious to me. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's Israel? If you think Israel had something to do with it, please do me a favor and hit that like button. I know that's a cheap plug or whatever, but I got 90 people in here, it looks like. I'd like to know how many of y'all think that Israel had something to do with this.
Including statements from his team reaching out to people like Harrison Smith. So, yeah. You're not getting away with it. And all you Jew balls crying in the comments saying, oh, how dare you? I can't believe we're saying this. Well, I can't believe you assassinated him. I can't believe you assassinated him. Shame the fuck on you for your people assassinating him. Fucking shame on you, and fuck you in your face. That's our message to you. Fuck you in your face. And shame on you. We know you don't.
I agree it's not 100% necessarily Israel, but it sure is that all the evidence is pointing that way, and to aim away from that is just ridiculous.
It's coming after fucking everybody because you killed the fucking voice of reason.
I'll go look up that post right now.
That's what happened. You killed tolerance. That's what you killed when you killed Charlie Kirk. You killed tolerance. You assassinated tolerance. That's what happened. And you radicalized the shit out of everybody. And it's not going to end well. And fucking shame on you. If you're defending that shit, shame on you. And good fucking luck. Because this shit's gonna get real. And it's gonna get real fucking fast. But yeah, go ahead, Fuzzy. Jump in there.
Thank you, General. This is a heavy day. As a father, when you hear about someone taken out like this right in front of his family, it's really a tough situation to handle. So, General and Rush, thank you for having the hard conversations today. Brock and Twiddle, if you don't mind me saying, thank you both as well. I pray for you both every night. And Twiddle, I hope that you get well soon. And Brock, I hope that you can get through this, pain in the ass that you're getting through. That being said, there's two more things I'm going to say. There's 350 people in here. Share this space. These messages need to be heard. Everybody in here, there's only 40 shares. Everybody share the space. If you're not following the General, you're not following Rush, you're missing out on literally people that do this for free, and they predict the future somehow or another. Not saying that they predicted the Charlie Kirk thing, but just yesterday we were talking about false flags and all this other stuff, but this wasn't a false flag. This actually happened, but this will absolutely distract us. And all I can ask you guys to do is pray, because the war is coming. And I don't think it's going to go well for many people. So I just want to say thank you to everybody on the dais. We love you guys. Please keep it up. Please, everybody share the space. Please follow General Rush. Put on your notifications. Share their...
I know Shadow of Ezra had put something out. Here's something pointing towards it. I'm looking for where it was like a month ago he tweeted or something that said, who was, it was Harrison. Hold on. I think I know who it was that said that about the, he was worried about Israel killing him or whatever, that he wasn't naming sources or whatever. Let me go find it real quick.
Yeah, thanks, Fuzzy. And Charlie Kirk was a very devout Christian, so we all need to pray for him, and he is with God, but he will not go, and his death will not be in vain. We will continue to respect his legacy, fighting for America. One of the things that got me yesterday was a post of like Glenn Beck or something. And it is in 2012, and he's like, "Hi, my name's Charlie, and I'm a 17-year-old high school student." And I mean, that was this kid devoted his entire life to this, and he was a true American, and he may have gone to Israel and kissed the wall, but his entire life was behind conservatism. He was against transgenderism the whole time. I mean, he was a huge political figure of our time, and he was turning against Israel, and that's what more than likely led to his assassination. I mean, the timeline of Benjamin Netanyahu just being connected to all information, I guess. He posted on the Charlie Kirk shooting all the way from Israel within 2 minutes of it happening.
All right, so right here, Harrison Smith, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against him. That's that post that I was talking about and that they were referring to.
This happening, and it's too suspicious after all the things that were said, after he said Israel was going to go after him, after all the things he said against Israel recently. I mean, the interview with Ben Shapiro, and knowing that they have the capabilities. I mean, all of this just ties to Israel, and we're going to get more and more information as we dig into this. But I mean, we can never forget. I mean, he's going to be a true martyr of our time. But I believe it was who next? Jump in there, man.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm just crushed. I'm angry, and I can't digest what happened. But following Charlie when he first started going to colleges and universities, the amount of rage against him, and through course of reason, like the general said, he was able to create thousands and thousands of followers, people in the crowds wearing the red hats. The kids had a voice. And for that to happen, like we've all said, he's just created millions of more Charlies. And I want to say one more thing. Kudos to Greg Gutfeld yesterday on Fox News. I'm not sure if he's going to get fired or not, but pardon my French, but his last words on the show were, you woke us the fuck up. And I'm glad he said it. And I hope he stays on because, him and Jesse Waters are pretty much the only ones that talk like us on Fox News, which is, really rare in the mainstream media. So kudos to him. I yield.
Yeah, America is never going back to sleep on this. There's a press conference coming up at 9 a.m. I'm going to try to listen to that on the back end. Maybe we could play some of it if it has anything pertinent in it. But there are already, I've heard multiple references by officials saying that there could be ties to a foreign intelligence agency or an intelligence agency. It was just way too professional of an action. The FBI are going to know that this immediately. It's going to be interesting to hear what they say, hear what they are putting out to the people. Is our government going to stand for the American people and American citizen right now, or are they going to hide this on the behest of a foreign nation? We're pretty much to the point right now. It's a big question. I believe Warren, was it Warren or Bud next? I apologize, guys.
No, I'm here.
All right, perfect. Warren,
no. Well, you talk about had enough. Should have been enough after the Civil War. When the War of 1812 and all. I mean, it just goes on and on. Look, I'm not in the mood for any questions or comments. Just my own one sentence.
I don't know how to post the link. I don't know how to it won't let me type into the live chat. So I'm on my phone. I'm screencasting from my phone. It won't let me post a link from the live chat. That's why I pulled it up on my screen for you to see it. I'll go back to it right now. Let me do that. Let me tune back into the chat.
Even it being a solemn one. When I heard the news yesterday, I just got off the internet because I already knew what was going to happen. And wait till this morning. And, our government agencies, so-called FBI, CIA, they've lied to us continuously to depend on them. But look at what internet sleuths have done. Ordinary Americans, what they have found out in the last, 18 hours, 20 hours, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, right? And we found the plane that shut off its beacon, right, until coming back, leaving Provo. We've already got the co-conspirators. Right? They have a name for the old man who drew attention away. We had hand signalers right behind him, clearly, right? And we have a professional shot. This is a guy that could hit a dime from 2 football fields away, unquestionable. And then there's footage of some guy laying on a building. And then everything about this 200 yards and all the speculation and the sound and the analyzation, all of that was done by American people. Not a damn thing of it was done by the so-called FBI, right? It was done by American people. The internet and the American people are changing the landscape of this country by revealing the truth of these devils who have infiltrated our country, who murdered an innocent Christian for simply learning he was deceived. It is the most despicable, vile act of cowardice, afraid of a man's words, a young man not much older than my son, what? And this is why I had to get off the internet last night and contemplate this heinous act. And General, you did an amazing thread. Thank you for that. I looked through that and had to come in here. There's entire spaces dedicated to Charlie this morning, and like,
lay down to these fuckers.
we're not gonna, like my Mrs. Mudd says, we're not laying down for these fuckers. We're not letting these bastards change the narrative. They're already scripting it, trying to blame it on Islamics and lefty. You know,
Larry Loomer.
they're not gonna win. Larry Loomer's not winning this time. These cucks aren't winning this time. We are. And I'm gonna land there before I get any more angry. But God bless Charlie Kirk. He's in heaven looking down, realizing the truth now. And his voice will be louder than ever. And that's his words. If you take me down, my voice will become louder than ever. And we need to make sure that happens. I'll land there.
Thank you, Mud.
Yeah, and like I said, Charlie Kirk, he knew they were going to try to kill him. He had mentioned it, but he still kept doing it because the guy had balls and he cared about America and he wanted a better future for his children. And he said that many, many times on his interviews. He's doing this for his children and he's doing it for the nation. Just the same reasoning we're here on this show every morning. We're here to save our country for our children's future. And he paid the ultimate price because he wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't be quiet. He wouldn't stop exposing them. So they killed him. And that's a true patriot. That's a true patriot. He wasn't quiet. He didn't shut up. You know, that's why they call Americans loudmouths, because no matter what, you just can't get them to shut up. And Charlie Kirk was that guy. He wasn't going to be shut down. He wasn't going to be silenced by these people, and they knew it.
Listen, for y'all that think that this is a left versus right thing, that's fucking bullshit. And if you're celebrating Charlie's death, fuck you and get off my channel. I don't care to have anybody like that following me. This isn't left versus right, bro. This is right versus wrong. This is the people versus we're in an occupied government. If y'all don't know about AIPAC and Israel's over our government, y'all need to wake up and do some damn research. We have this space every morning. The general right here. If you go on X, it's at 776 general _. Follow him. Mine is Mark Tarver 117. That's my handle. You can follow me on X. I don't care about followers. I'm trying to get the message out there. I do this for free. I'm just trying to spread the message and try to get people to wake up to the problems that are going on. And that's the whole purpose of this space. I'll shut up now and get back to it. Sorry for interrupting the general there.
You know, he wasn't a degenerate. He was a clean cut guy. Didn't smoke, he didn't drink. He wasn't vile. They didn't have anything on him. They couldn't get anything on him because he was just a normal American dude, Christian family man who was trying to save his country. So yeah, they fucked up by killing him. And they telling you guys, they assassinated tolerance. And that's where they really fucked up. They assassinated tolerance and they radicalized the shit out of everybody. The left and the right are getting ready. Is ready to burn everything down. The right doesn't get like that, by the way. The right doesn't move like this. And now they are. It's pretty interesting to see how this is moving in this direction this fast. I didn't think it would move this fast, but here we are. So, good luck to you guys who assassinated him. I don't think it's going to turn out so well for you. This shit's going to turn on all your bioweapons. It's going to turn on all the bullshit that you guys did. It's not going to, people aren't going to be quiet about this. You've woken the giant, that sleeping giant, the chalk demon. Yeah, chalk demon activated.
Yeah, we don't chip out and burn down our government buildings like we change borders. But it does look like there's a huge awakening in America. I mean, it's crazy. There's so many people that had this delusion that the woman being killed on the bus, that it was all a fake, completely fabricated story. I think people are so adverse to a false flag, because we talk about false flags in here all the time. That they're looking for them everywhere, and there's a lot of people that believe that this Charlie Kirk shooting is a false flag. I mean, but even though you're just like the woman being stabbed on the bus, there's multiple camera angles, lots of, I mean, just the evidence of statistics alone of that woman being stabbed. But the Charlie Kirk, there's multiple camera angles. There's all the people that were there. I mean, he was killed. I mean, when a false flag happens, it's not going to just be one person. I mean, it's going to be a massive event, in order to, try to put a rise up against terrorism. This isn't the type of false flag events we would see. So I just don't understand the reasoning behind people trying to say that this is a false flag and he wasn't shot. I mean, it's just odd to me, as well as the woman shot on the bus. Overwatch jumped in there, man.
Yeah, I'm on my way in, guys. That if that guy, I know we're still trying to confirm 100%, but if that Patsy distractor guy, if he effed off to Israel, and they allowed that Cash should be fired for that already. That's enough. I'm tired of these people, these pedos and everybody else getting to F off to Israel, and they damn well know we don't have extradition with Israel. There's no excuse anymore. We knew that times 100 pedos that have already done that. And if this guy was, I don't care if they released him or not, if they allowed him to get on an international flight, the FBI, with millions of funding, if they allowed that SOB to get on an international flight and F off to Israel, they all ought to be fired. What the hell are we paying for? We can have online people work with the local sheriff department and get more people arrested and get better information than that for free. It's an absolute outrage. If that's true, I am so pissed at.
It looks like this happens from time to time on X. It is ran by H-1B visas. So it looks like general space got shut down for the moment. Let's see who we got. We got a little one. We got this one. Let's jump back into Trillion space and see what they got to say over there. Yeah, whoever said that, who said that, DM, another hit caused by the Democrats. I don't know if this is a Democrat thing. It looks more like an Israeli thing. I don't think it's a left versus right thing. I think that the left versus right is a control mechanism that the government uses, the rulers use to keep us from uniting against them and seeing that it's not left versus right, it's right versus wrong, it's ruling class versus the peasants, and we're all sitting here trying to figure this shit out together. That's the point of these spaces, and we're trying to organize each other and just get as much information out there as possible. We follow the evidence no matter where it leads, and to hell with everything else. We speak truth. We don't give a shit what you think. You can call me a racist fuck, a fascist, a pig, whatever you want to call me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Okay, let's jump in on Trillion Space. I'm sure General will get another one fired up. Let me look and see if we got another one fired up yet. No, we'll jump in on Trillion Space and see what they're talking about over there.
The doctor that we had up in Sully Space said it probably was not the carotid, small distinction, right? It was probably the jugular, just because he said it was venous flow. If it was the carotid, it would have sprayed more. Again, these were all distinctions, but yeah, anyway. It's a professional shot. This is someone who had clearly done it before. One shot, one kill. It didn't spray the crowd. Was there for one very... Look, Sam was in here before. I don't know if you caught that, Ian, but Sam was in here before, and he's like, look, the thing with Irina, the thing with Charlie, like, these videos have been curated into our minds very intentionally. Irina's video did not have to get released. It was totally at their discretion if they were to release it, you know, at what time they wanted to release it. They released it right away. With this, obviously, I don't know what they could have done to really prevent
Irina, aka the Ukrainian woman, if anyone doesn't know exactly. Like earlier, Austin Metcalf, there's video apparently of him, and people in Texas are trying to get them to release it, but they won't release that. Obviously, for we know why.
Probably shows
Heidi,
a black kid stabbing a white guy for no reason. Probably why they don't want to release it.
Oh, wait, Keith, what did you say? What did you ask?
No, I just wonder if you're here, because we got requests, but if you're here, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you said you had to go a few minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I'm here, but I'll drop down to listeners if you need somebody to come back up.
It's fine, Heidi. No, it's cool.
No, it's all good.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm here.
All good. I thought you said that you were leaving. Or something.
No. I have a space in like an hour and a half, a couple hours. I'll hang out.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we still got some hands here. Let's do, you know what, here's the thing, I saw that clip. The clip that you sent me is Alex Jones taking over Owen's show or something like that. Is that the right clip?
Yeah, it's like from minute 125 to minute
when Alex comes in.
45.
Wait, but what is it though? It's just Alex
it's fucking epic. No. It's when Owen actually. It's when he was basically when he walked off the show actually after the clip. But it's when it was basically the final straw. We played it last night. You definitely should play because people need to know like. And this is basically what Owen has talked about, and also how Owen said like Alex. You can hear in the clip, but people definitely have to.
I don't really give a shit about that. I'm gonna go look and see if General Space is open back up yet. He might not come back on. I'm not sure. He usually shuts down at 9 o'clock. Let me look real quick. No, it looks like he might have shut down. All right, we'll go ahead and go back into this.
Which shows how pissed off he is.
I mean, it's crazy. We could play the show where Fuentes was on, and Alex just wouldn't leave. It was the most awkward thing. Well, yeah. See that one? Do we want to hear Nick? No, I don't know. Is it too soon to play Nick talking shit about Charlie Kirk? Is it too soon?
Yeah.
It's too soon.
I think so. That'd be at this tape.
Oh my God, you guys got all so sensitive. You've been watching a.
People follow along here, so go ahead and go to 1 minute and 25 seconds and watch the body language of Owen when Alex is over his shoulder. It tells you all you need to know, and then you'll see the rest. And again, the joke that he makes halfway through is fucking hilarious. It's wild. Alex was fucked up.
All right, let me see if it'll actually play.
I want to say one last thing, Ian, because I don't think anybody addressed this point really quickly.
Hold on, real quick. Let's see if this.
Go ahead, Boo. Go ahead. I paused it. I have sound. I just wanted to check that it worked. Go ahead.
All I was going to say, and this is the last thing I'll say on it, but you did have a great point about we can't be scared. And I just want to say my friend Hermes, Chaotic Hermes, he's been killing it. He is running a White Lives Matter protest, in response to Charlie Kirk political assassination / terrorist attack, as well as Irina, I can't say her name properly, and the other many white victims that have been murdered for either their political views or for no reason, just because they were white. And of course, I support that cause, and I encourage anybody in the Miami area to go and get involved there.
Still waiting on fucking Trump to say Austin Metcalf's name, but yeah, well, Hermes, I'll talk about it after. But people, it's up in the front of the nest. Go to minute 25 and watch what follow along, because you'll be able to see the body language, which is very
from like, you know, the Zionist not folding to the Zionists, and I think that was a pretty powerful clip. There's one other one that's kind of similar. After we do the hands,
Sorry about that, guys. My phone's acting kind of retarded. I just lost transmission. I don't even know if it's still working or not.
Whoa. Hello?
That's on fast forward.
yeah, I can't be in the space, and
Yeah, the people who were watching over January 6th, they're doing it.
all right.
You want me
all
to
right.
try
Let's take
it?
a hand here. I don't know what the hell is going on. You know what it
It
is?
played
I have
perfect.
Veritas. I haven't talked to Veritas in a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. Ian, I have a question for you. I have an actual real question. So, as soon as this happened, obviously there's the chilling effect. Myron had a public appearance scheduled, something similar to like a public debate. And immediately after this happens, people say, hey, probably skip that one. Don't go out live. And at the beginning of the space, I asked everybody, what would you do? Right? Like, you're a truth teller, you're speaking out against Zionism, the Jews, whatever. You have a live event. This just happened. You make a decision for tomorrow. Do you go to your event or do you stay home?
Yeah, I think it's really hard to say, but perhaps the right move would be to not cancel the event, because again, I feel like doing so almost gives the terrorists what they want, and that presumes that there's...
It wasn't no freaking trans person. Come on, man. Don't believe the freaking bullshit.
And so to not give them their win, I think you still have to do it, but I think you do have to maybe adapt, and you can't just I don't want to say boldly. You can't maybe indifferently put yourself out onto a stage as if you didn't just see the things happen yesterday. And so perhaps you just change the venue. You ask for a slightly different format. Perhaps you do so. I don't want to say virtually, but that's obviously an option. And so if it was for Myron in this case, I would say, hey, if it's going to be an event that's going to have less than a couple hundred people, well, then still do it. It's just, request that they have security, set up metal detectors, and do it in an auditorium. Do it in a classroom. Do it in whatever format you need to, and then maybe...
Yes, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel, man. I know y'all probably don't even like me, but you can at least hit the like button. Thank you.
Events like this to completely neuter our interest in trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, right? That I believe gives them the victory. But we shouldn't just act as if we're completely indifferent to the safety of those that we hold up as speaking these truths kind of proudly. And so I think you can kind of blend the two if that's a decent approach.
Yeah, you're a better manager than Gary. I'll give you that one. Yeah. I really agree, man. People got to get their security situation together. I mean, dude, listen, it's just amazing that they haven't changed anything. In fact, it's gotten worse the more popular he's probably Kirk got. Like, now he's worth way more than when they were doing these sort of engagements. When he was trying to make a name for himself, get popular. Now he's at the head of the organization. One of these voices, they got rid of everybody else. No one else got to speak from the right side. It was just him. He was selected, chosen, groomed for YouTube prestige, and this is how they treated. They just slapped a vest on him and said, "Good, take a seat." Like that. And again, not just one drone.
One drone. Everyone
almost
has a
like
drone.
target
One
practice.
drone.
Is terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is wide open. I mean, I've never seen so much surface area of rooftop. I mean, around.
Yeah, it's a trillion ton silver on space yesterday.
Well,
It's just so
look
many
at the similarities.
Don't
Look at the similarities between the Trump shooting and this Charlie Kirk shooting, okay? It's the people that are around them. You cannot trust these Zionists, these Jews to protect you. They don't care. It's like what Nick says all the time. Nick Fuentes says this. Nick Fuentes says this.
Yeah, the Trump
He
one
says,
was fake, but
if
yeah.
you get tricked by a Jew, don't come crying to me about it, okay? That's what the rule is. So Myron and every other right-winger who's doing events needs to have their people in check, like you're saying. They need to have the right security, who has their best interest. And if you pay them $1 million,
I guarantee any of us in here who maybe if there's not a Jew in here would spend the extra 10K or whatever for a fucking drone. Okay.
I mean, yeah, the security thing is absolutely ridiculous. People just gotta do a better job, and it's always a security guy with at Little Bow.
Holy shit! This is the first time I'm seeing these videos of this protest shit that's going on. Have y'all seen this shit?
And you know what's crazy? Let me just say this one quick point. You can jump in, Keith. I think the clip should play now. But look, Trump yesterday, when asked about Qatar, was he surprised that the most genocidal nation on the planet currently just bombed an ally nation, hoping to hit a couple of the Hamas guys? By the way, guys, I didn't get a chance to say this yet. I'm going to take a quick opportunity to say it. Look, the deal that Israel is offering Hamas is so good that they have to bomb them into accepting it. That's how good the deal is for the Palestinians, that they literally have to murder them all to get them to sign it. Hamas has offered to resign from being the government of Gaza since February. They're like, look, we got it. We're not the government anymore. That's fine.
If y'all don't know who Liz Crocken is, the post that I have up right now, that is the journalist that's been exposing Epstein, Pizzagate, all the pedo corruption that's up top. That she is definitely a reliable source, not a quack. So just FYI.
Never surprises me. And then this happens the next day, and are any of us surprised that he and Bibi offer their prayers to Charlie Kirk at like the same fucking minutes?
Exact same minute.
Are you kidding?
Trump was supposed to have a big press conference yesterday.
You're sending National Guard all over the fucking country. You guys can't arrange a way to make sure that the shooter is actually apprehended and justice can be served. You just go on social media and say, we're praying for you, Charlie. That's it. That's the United States of America. Look, we have gotten digitally clusterfucked. They give a shit more about what you say about Jews on the internet than if you go and shoot up a fucking, shoot Charlie Kirk. Apparently, they care more about the shit you say about Jews online. We're totally digitally mind fucked here. Anyway, who was gonna talk? Keith, you.
Yeah, it's digital mindfuck, and nobody knows who these people are. Nobody knows who these security guards, these cops are that just let them go or failed.
I
mean, this is who are their names? We don't even know this guy's name, who I know. I don't even know his fucking name.
Yeah, that's why these things. No, I was just gonna say, try that clip, and hopefully it should be good to go.
Hey,
after the people that were running
what they did.
Has Prashant gotten a chance? He's had his hand up for a while.
We'll go straight to Prashant. Let's just get this clip out of the way, and then we'll go back to some of the Charlie Kirk begging for his life from the Jews.
Rural entrapment schemes, including in Michigan, because it was a lot of the same people. All right, Alex Jones in studio, go ahead.
Well, Kyle Saravin's totally vindicated. These major firings are on. I was just talking to him, major new stuff he just got from his sources, like he's all in the FBI. I said, hey, what are you going on with your breaking stuff? I think you got a clear show. If you want him on, get them to set him up. He's ready to go. Because this is breaking news. It's up to you.
All right, we'll get that lined up. So they've obviously identified who was running all the actions. But see, this is where you start to run into an issue.
But see, that's good news, Owen. We got grand juries in panel. They're firing people.
No. See, I'm gonna push back now. I'm gonna push back then, Alex. Because here's what I'm gonna say. And it's not even about this. This is just a general statement. I want fucking arrests. That's what I want. Okay? Period. End of sentence. And I know you do too, Alex.
You want an arrest? You got arrested for attacking.
Exactly. So my rights were violated.
Yeah, here's the deal. We're like stuck in the mud. We're starting to go out of it. So be optimistic.
Alex, I have a solution. All right, since you're in here and we're having some fun.
No. I
have the solution, actually, Alex. I am converting. I am Jewish now. I'm going to put on my yarmulke, and now I might get some attention. They might arrest the people that fake swatted me. They might arrest the people that assault me in the streets.
I made the joke that I was Jewish. Say, as much as we don't like Israel, then the Nazis are so fake. If we joke and say we're Jewish, they'll say it. I'm Jewish. And they're going to go, Joe says he's Jewish. No, I am Jewish. I am a space alien.
No, I'm doing this. I'm converting now for just so I can get some things done that I want done. That's what I'm going to do. Because, you just have to realize what it is. Like if a pitcher throws fastballs, say, oh, okay, I'm going to anticipate a fastball. Well, I know the administration puts the pros first. Like a little college student girl who gets into an argument with a guy in a gym. It's a federal investigation. It's a federal case.
I hear everybody's pushing Israel. That's good. My point is we've got major traction. This is a new scandal where everything Seraphin said about that plane and the J6 people and the Raiders, I'm telling you, they are flipping out right now.
Yeah, people are going to get fired, and that's good, but people need to go to jail, and that's what.
Okay, well, that's how we get there. So it's an important story. That's why we get the story out to put them in jail. We're getting close, Owen. First time.
So much hope. Hey guys, if you're applying for a mortgage, just bring your small hat. It really helps with the rates. Just going into the bank, just pop that on top of your head, and 2%, baby.
That just sums up the whole thing. Like I said, Owen's gripes, rightfully so, the last couple of years when I watched him was Alex interrupts all the time. Alex, I guess, will just be like, hey, this guy is here, so he's going on your show and just throwing people on his show. He's told Owen the last 3 months, I watch Owen a good amount, that he's too blackpilling on Trump, even though we all know what the truth is. And he's been there for 10 years. And also, like Alex joked about, because he had to, whenever, like you said earlier, Trillian, when someone did, I think it was you or whoever it was, Blue, when he had Fuentes on, he always comes in and interrupts when they're talking about Jews or Israel or whatever. But you're not supposed to swear in InfoWars because they're live on the thing. And also, they rarely bring up Jews. So the fact that Owen just straight up said Jews get whatever they want in this country and I'm converting to Judaism, as Alex's wife is obviously Jewish, and rightfully so. I mean, he has been there 10 years. He went to jail for basically all of us. He literally went to jail for fucking nothing, for free speech. Literally I think he stood up at a thing, whatever, a Senate hearing, and said Jerry Nadler and Comey need to go to jail. And they said they trespassed him. Then he came back, and technically I think he got trespassing, but nobody gets 90 days in jail for trespassing. But on his sentencing memorandum, which is a very bad precedent that they set, it said Owen Schroyer is going to jail because, I don't know the exact date, it was August 22nd, 2021, Owen Schroyer said that Joe Biden is a pedophile. And September 4th, 2021, Owen Schroyer said that Joe Biden is not the rightful president. They literally put him in jail for 90 days. He's been there 10 years. Alex does all this shit. He literally is interrupting him saying that you're blackpilling on Trump, even though we all know this. Then there's another clip, but it doesn't matter. I'll throw it in the nest so people can see it, that someone dug up. It's deleted footage. Nobody has seen it before. It's deleted footage, and it's of Alex from 8, 9, 10 years ago saying, fuck Trump, I wish I never met him. Trump's a fucking piece of shit. They're overthrowing Assad, overthrowing Syria, all these crazy-ass things that he knows. So he knows what's going on. He's obviously been bought off by Elon, as I assume, and probably the GOP.
I hate to say it. I hate to see it. But does this mean he would be killed if he had stayed at this point? This is where we're heading, right?
You talking about Owen?
Yeah. I mean, they killed Charlie because he stayed with the Jews. I
don't think they would have. Well, I mean, they did kill their top journalist that was exposing the genocide a little bit, and he was.
Hey, Riley, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, Riley Critter. Fucking suck my dick, bitch. Get off my fucking channel.
No kidding, dude. That was insane.
I was gonna say, because it was fucked up. And then they sent the pizza. They killed him in front of a Papa John's at 3 a.m. And there was only or 1 a.m. There's only 4 or 5 murders that whole year in wherever the kid lived.
You know what?
Then the next day they sent the pizza from that Papa John's to Owen's house and I think to Chase's house. And Chase is a 32nd degree Mason, so he obviously.
This is so scary. But think about this: if you guys knew Charlie Kirk was gonna get sniped, right? Would you just tell him, nah, bro? Just keep shilling for Israel. I don't know. What do you even say to these people?
I would say fire your security, dude.
Don't go to the event.
Inside a building. Stop fucking around. You're worth $500 million. You don't need to go sit in front of 3,000 people outside.
He doesn't coordinate it, though. They set it up. I'm telling you, this guy set this shit up. This is not amateur hour for these people.
No, they did.
It definitely was set up. I have to jump in here real quick. I posted 2 things in the nest. First of all, the yard they held the rally in is completely Nora, so it definitely was a blood ritual.
I saw that. That's wild.
I got sent a post by someone who is a firearms expert, and that's the first post up in the nest. And he's very sure that it was a close-range assassination, just by the angle that the neck was hit, and by figuring out the whole surroundings. So it's up in the nest. Give that guy a follow. Maybe have a discussion with him. He was and sent me that. So props to him. And yeah, great to have a space like that, Train and Keith. Appreciate it. I will shut up now and have you.
Y'all see that? How it's shaped like a menorah? That's wild as fuck, bro. That is wild.
Definitely a fountain, guys. I don't know how many menorah things there's to be, but now that I see the picture, it's 1,000% a menorah.
Those
Have
are
you-
Congress.
have you-
And
menorah.
Have you
let's
seen
not
our,
forget the Mormons and the Jews work together, okay? And this is Utah.
Yep.
No one's talked about the fucking Mormons. They have their hand in this too. I guarantee it, man.
Hold on, before we get to the Mormons, hold on. In an ode to Alex Jones, can we start calling you Methylene Blue? Would that be okay, Blue? Methylene Blue?
Yeah, no, that's my other name.
Hey,
That's
listen, Keith, Julian, I just
when I'm on
finished
the
my
meth.
class.
Real name. That's
My
your full
classes, that's
name.
why I couldn't talk. But look, the Mormons. Do you know that in the Mormon book you're not supposed to have caffeine? You're not supposed to drink caffeine. But guess what they own in America? Guess what they own? Anyone want to take a
Methylene
wild
Blue.
guess? Coca-Cola.
I do not know.
They own Coca-Cola and everything to do with Coca-Cola.
Who said
And
super?
remember,
No
wait,
shit,
remember that?
that's-
Hold on
I
one
didn't
second.
know that.
Remember that soda company? Remember that soda company that opened up in Israel? Do you
Yep.
remember who was in charge of it? Scarlett Johansson? That was
Really?
part of it.
Really?
Yes,
William,
yes.
William,
They
check
came,
your DMs, my guy.
yeah, they came down on her a little
What was it
bit,
called?
but during that time. But yeah, there's all kinds of shit, satanic ritual type of things
Wait, you're
going
telling
on.
me-
in Utah.
You're telling me Scarlett Johansson owned Kosher Cola in
She's
Israel?
another Jew.
Let me see exactly what they. She was a part of it. Yeah, owner I don't know, but she was a part of it. Scarlett Johansson.
It was Big Cola. Big Cola did this.
Yeah. And they used Scarlett Johansson, and she was a big contributor. Like she was one of the biggest investors of it. And Israel.
Another fucking Jew that changed her name.
You didn't know that? Oh my
William,
gosh.
William,
I was dying to see
check,
it.
check your
Soda
DMs,
Stream.
William,
It's
my
Soda
guy.
Stream.
Speaking of actors, I just got sent another DM. The Irina guy was a psyop. She was already announced dead in Ukraine as a medic.
Really? Okay, that one was weird. But wait, Veritas, you said the other day, did you get arrested in Germany for speech?
Yeah. They raided my house about 5.5 months ago.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Alright, if y'all don't know, these are public forums. I have no control over what anybody says on this thing. I'm not a Jew. It's all the Jews. I think that part of it is the Jew, that just like we have a satanic cabal of pedophiles in our government, freaking Jews, and I gotta go use the bathroom real quick, so I don't have any control over what these people say. Their views aren't necessarily my views, but a lot of them are my views.
It was
Brother, answer the door with your yarmulke.
Hey, is there any way I guys... William, my guy, check your DMs. I DM
All right,
you.
let's let some
My guy,
people hop in. I think Beast has been trying to go. Prashant's got to go. I have a clip here. Charlie Kirk said Jewish communities hate whites and fund anti-white causes. So you guys have that to look forward to.
Really?
I think was it Beast? Prashant?
That sounds based.
Yeah, let Prashant go, then I'll go after.
Go ahead, Prashant.
Can you hear me well? Like the space is really glitching for me sound-wise. Can you hear me?
It's glitching for everyone. I think you're okay. You're a little bit rough, but it should be okay.
Well, maybe I should go out and come back and reboot because I got some things that I think you guys are going to be interested in.
About Charlie?
If you can hear me, great. If not,
Please go on.
Just go ahead and shoot it. We can hear you good enough.
You want to cycle? Well, I'll cycle you real quick, and then he's probably on his PC. Here, I'll bring you right back up, Prashant. Let me get Prashant back up here.
You want me to go then? You want me to just go then there,
Yeah, Beast, go ahead.
Okay, because I actually have to go do stuff, and I got to worry about my mom. She fell lately recently, and I got to worry about it right now. So, my apologies. No, it's all right. I got more pressing concerns to worry about, but I wanted to come in here and try and speak something that people need to understand what's going on. So, Ian was speaking just recently about what the actual assassination of Charlie Kirk was trying to do. Was try to fear us. Like, you got people that are trying to push for Palantir control. And then you got people on the other spectrum that are trying to not want to see the eyes, trying to express truth. Their fear of truth and stuff like that, that side of the spectrum. Well, there's an actual underlying other meaning too, because I've been talking to other people and they see it as well. They're trying to incite a civil war. And it's not just any normal civil war. They're trying to have whites attack each other. They're trying to have whites fight each other. Like right now, you're seeing it mainly right now in certain spaces. I've been going to certain spaces, especially ones with certain people that are being led by certain paganists. I don't want to talk about it. But literally, certain people are talking about right now, and you go in there, and they're the worst type of fucking white supremacists, And I told people need to watch that movie, Civil War, that most recent one. It is literally speaking of what's going to happen. They are trying to push us into a conflict where they can instantly say, we're going to activate freaking police state.
National Guard. I think the National Guard was a big part of that movie.
Yep. We're going to activate it. You just gave us the right to do it. And the guy in the scene in the Civil War movie says, what kind of patriot are you? That's the exact verbatim of these guys in these paganist freaking spaces. Because don't even think that even Christians need to know.
As far as how to find these groups, the only way that I know is on X. There are X spaces. Every other platform, I mean, you get booted for. We get our accounts suspended and crap on X too, or canceled. But I suggest making an anonymous X account. That's what most people do. I'm not anonymous. I'm on here face out, just like I am on YouTube. But a lot of people have anonymous accounts, and you can go into these groups. You can follow me, Mark Tarver, TARVER 17 is my handle, or any of the people that you see up here, and start following the people that are talking about the things that you're interested in. The communities on here are awesome, bro. There's veterans communities. There's all kinds of different communities. We have the general space that we were in earlier. It's basically like a news show in the mornings, but we talk about all kinds of crap, and we're kind of an activist group. We'll go in and blow up certain posts on certain like elected officials to try to get them to help sway their opinions and stuff. It's just a way of getting active and getting your voice heard, more loudly with some big grouping together, small and medium, large, and a couple big accounts as well. So that you got to get on X if you want to really be heard, bro. We're shifting the Overton window really hard on X.
He's a sex trafficker. That's where he got all his money from. He's a piece
All
of
right,
shit.
hold on. Like, let's just skip the fucking Tate thing for now.
But what I'm saying is
totally different conversation, but yeah.
But my point is, Trillion. My point is, everything is scripted. Everything. People need to not be baited into this.
Don't let them play in your emotions.
No.
Mark Tarver, MARK. Here, I'll pull it up on the screen.
For false dichotomies, fuck that. We're not falling for the Civil War bullshit. Like, let's be honest, guys. Most of us are having we're bitching about rent going up and groceries being too expensive and gas being a bitch to fill up. What are we gonna do? Form legions, guys? Oh, fuck that. We're not. That's not. It's not happening. Like, here's what.
I got Bitcoins to buy.
We're not selling the fucking Bitcoin, bro. We're not selling the Bitcoin for tips and spears here. Like, the Civil War narrative is so preposterously, it's just so ridiculous, guys. Like, we're not forming legions. Nobody's got, just imagine if we could, how much we could solve our issues, like what we would need to do to even form ranks, right? If we had the resources to do that, we wouldn't be in this fucking situation we're in now. So the Civil War.
You just hit the follow button when you go into my profile. You go to hit the follow button when you I don't know what your question is, Toying. It's hard to see everything on my screen. I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to read it in the little black spaces. But yeah, hold on. Let me get to that.
A judge. What are you actually doing when you go with your little funny gavel and, and like silly cape and robe? Are you just playing dress up? You never.
I don't know what Beast Goham is. I don't know what that is. Is that a person or something? I don't know what that is.
Throughout the country. Oh, the market just opened for anybody who cares.
It's all redirection. That's all it is. Distraction, redirection. That's all it is. And people just need to not be baited into it. Ignore it. Go on with your lives. Keep doing what we're still doing. Talking about news. Talking about what they're doing to the world. Also, not stop talking about 9/11. It's 9/11 today. It's their anniversary. Don't forget about that.
We have a lot of guys. By the way,
Don't forget about white people.
Yeah, later today. Here, I'll play Charlie Kirk's "White People Are Getting Cooked" clip here. Here, let me see if this will pop up. But yeah, guys, a lot of 9/11 stuff coming up today. Big Space, 5 p.m. Eastern. There's gonna be a lot of 9/11 stuff. So no, we're definitely not forgetting about 9/11. Let's play
Hey, don't
this.
forget me.
Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against.
Oh,
wow, that is unbelievably loud for me.
William, and I interject quickly.
Oh my goodness.
William,
Yeah, seriously.
What do you got, William? What do you got?
I am very, very glad Trillion said he will not let the horrific attack of 9/11 go unobserved today. Yes, what happened yesterday was
William, I'm doing a speech in 1 hour with whistleblower Dan Hanley.
Well, hold on a second. I'll be done in 20 seconds. Hold on.
911 whistleblower.
Trillion. Hold on. I'm glad Trillion will not let.
Now, I just broke everything.
I have to leave the space, Trillion. I think it's been a great space. God bless you. Hope I've been some type of information. But hey, I have to say, you mentioned something about Hermes, and you took his thing off the thing. Well,
You keep Toyin or Tioine what even? I don't know what you're asking me, bro. Re-ask the question in such a way that I can understand it, and I'll try to answer it. But whatever that goy you're talking about.
Hermes is too low IQ and young to be controlled by anybody.
Well, Gary,
that's the reality. He's a friend of mine.
Dude, you gotta love the Groypers.
Yeah, but
I'm just
not
saying,
really.
dude. There's nobody better to space with than these fucking Groypers. Dude, are you friends with Dylan, by the way?
Dylan?
And then Fuentes hates, I think, Hermes, because he was on JQ Radio like a month and a half ago, and he was a complete fraud. And then the next day, what's his name? Beardman had a space trying to calling out Hermes, but he wouldn't come in. But he's a redirection.
I know, but we have all to unify, okay? We need to unify.
I don't hate the kid, but he's a redirection agent like some of these other kids. I forget the other ones, but what he does...
I'm not even defending Hermes. I'm just defending the event. It's a White Lives Matter event. I think it's a good thing. I think that we shouldn't be fearful. I think that somebody needs to do...
Do I believe who was fighting for Europe? You talking about Charlie Kirk? Are you talking about, it was Charlie Kirk fighting for Europe? Who are you talking about?
Our government, our people pressuring, it's like Stop the Steal or any of these other things, whatever the demands be. And, Hermes is the guy doing it. I don't have, anything to say regarding the beefs. I don't agree with his points regarding women or Christianity. But, what'd you say?
AG, I'll pull him up 1 second.
Yeah, I don't have beefs or whatever. I don't want to get in between of a fucking Groiper beef. Obviously, that's suicide.
Okay, so I have mixed feelings on Adolf. I think a lot of his crap was, first of all, if y'all don't know, we were lied to about our history in World War II. Even Patton said that he thought that we fought on the wrong side afterwards. You can look that up. Whatever you want to think about it, think about what you will. Adolf did a lot of good things. He shut down the bankers. He was very pro-family, giving houses to family. The Holocaust is bullshit. They talk about 6 million. At most it was whatever 271,000 or whatever and all that. And the people that were emaciated and dying were, I mean, his own soldiers were emaciated and dying because he overextended himself and fought unwisely in the war. He didn't have the logistics that he could have. You can say some people think he was a coward. He ran away to. I don't know if I doubt that he actually killed himself or whatever. They talk about he ran away to Argentina. I don't know exactly what to think about all that. I got mixed views on it. I could be sold in any direction. I think there was good and bad things about him, like with most politicians. I think the way that he's been villainized and demonized is utterly ridiculous, and anybody that actually researches history that was not written by Ghislaine Maxwell's father, the Maxwell's Publishing, when you get into the actual history of things, you do not. You do. Oh, it keeps cutting out. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm talking about Adolf and I'm getting cut off. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that people, whatever. Let's get back to the space.
Done. All right, hold on. What time
Oh my
does
God,
your, Heidi, what time does your space start?
Finally.
No, it's at 9:50. Well, and from now in like an hour. So less than an hour. I think in about 50 minutes. I mean, I put it 9:15 p.m. my time.
What's that our time?
So that's. I don't know.
How long
Dan
from now?
Hanley's exiled. He's in Pakistan. Okay, so now it's 8:36 and it's at 9:15. So
Well, it's 9:36. It's 9:36.
So about like
so
45
minutes from now.
About so, yeah. This is you guys. This is 911.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm down, but
He lost over $40 million whistleblowing.
One second.
$40 million, and they wanted to deem him mentally ill, and he made sure to go to Atlanta and get the best mental health care and counselor to write up a note on him. Oh my God, he has stories, and he says the hijackers.
All right, let's hold on. Oh,
I need either
guys,
Trillion,
real quick.
Keith,
I'm gonna go through
through
the listeners real quick, guys. If you want to, because it is 9/11 today, and we do have to pay tribute. How many people in here would be interested in staying for the 9/11 whistleblower space? Just give a thumbs up, or really any emoji.
Staying? Do you mean in here or going to?
Yeah, like how many of you would stay to listen to that? You guys are so lazy. Let's go. Let's see some emojis.
It won't be more than an hour. I won't take his.
But are you
time
bringing
more
them in
than
here,
an
Heidi,
hour
or
that's
are
it.
you?
No,
No.
Let's do it.
Oh no, I have him set up on my.
You have it on your space.
Set up on my space.
I was gonna say you want.
Because they canceled him. Yeah.
There's 1,000 people in here. So if you wanted to, you could bring them in here for an hour. You have a big audience already. But
you
if
could
not,
take my. The thing is, you could take.
The thing is, but here's the thing. They suspended his account on X, and I had to open up. He has like over 80,000 followers, and I had to open up his account, and he's all set up to go into MySpace. But it's okay. I don't need to like have the over 1,000.
I mean, could you not take my spot as co-host and do it like that?
I don't know. Well, he already has all the. Here, I don't know if I can do that, right? Like, I already gave him all the. I'll confuse him if I send him another space. It took like a day just to get him another account on X because he's suspended.
He's got the David Duke treatment.
Okay, well, here's what we could do. You run your space. I can patch it into this one so that you guys get the listeners, and then people can just migrate over there. So I'll just raid your space.
Yeah, but how long are you gonna stay up?
Well, I can just.
How long
I can
will
just
you
put
stay
it.
up
I can
for?
just leave it on. People can hear it if they don't want to. If they don't want to switch space. Listen, once we.
Trillion knows what to do.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to say it's like herding cats because I love you all, but if I tell you guys to go to a different space, everyone is just gonna like go like roll a joint and play with their dog outside. Like people are just like, unreliable.
No, don't worry. I want him. It's okay.
No,
it
start
doesn't
your
matter
space.
which way-
Start
the only
your
thing
space.
is-
Start your space. I'll just rate it here, and then I'll pop into the other space as well. It's not a problem at all. Just so people can hear it.
Well, I can't start it now.
Yeah, no, not now.
40
Whenever
minutes,
it's ready.
so-
Trillion knows what to do, and you deserve it, Heidi, anyways, because you're the best.
They're trying to switch topics now, and there's a lady that's having a there's a lady that's having a 9/11 space with a pilot that was a whistleblower for 9/11, and they're trying to figure out how to get all the people out of this space and onto another space. If you, I guess, the guy who is that? Wodovan is saying that if you pause me for a second and then let it go, that this channel will be less laggy. I'm sorry for any lag. I am on my phone. I'm just a normal dude. I'm a crane operator. I'm on a job site. We happen to have a slow day right now, so I want to listen to the 9/11 space, and I'll keep the stream going for that. They're figuring out how they want to do it. I will join us into that space.
It was creepy. Like honestly, it did scare me and give
Like
me some
Terminator
actual
type
pause.
shit
Let's not blackpill too hard. Mossad's retarded. We know that.
Well, Trillion. What I will do is I'll open this space with Dan, and I'll run it for a little bit. And if he wants to hop over to your space, I'll just have everyone come to your space if he knows how to click on your link. Because I'll keep the purple pill down, and I'll see what he.
You don't have to do anything different. Do exactly what you're doing, and we'll just pass you in.
Heidi,
There's
you can take
no
my
worries.
spot.
Yeah,
So
if you guys manage to get in here, yeah, you can do the whole thing. All right, guys.
This is more the reason that I stream this is because not everybody has an X account, and not everybody wants to go into these spaces. I know for my phone, I have a brand new, really good phone, and it drains the shit out of my battery. I have to keep it plugged in all the time. YouTube's much more streamlined of a platform. So I stream these so people don't have to. Plus, I come in here and hang out with y'all and chat with y'all and answer any questions. If y'all want me to, I can always request to speak in the space to the speakers and ask any kind of questions y'all want. I have a pretty small account, but I'm respected in the X circles that they'll usually bring me up as a speaker and let me speak or talk or ask questions, or pretty much any space, even the biggest ones on X I can get into. So that's why I have this. I suggest just get an X account and join the spaces. That's fine too. Make sure you follow people that you like and start networking and do that. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to the space.
Communities hate causes. I think these are all recent.
Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Now, I don't like generalizations. Not every Jewish person believes that. But it is true, the Anti-Defamation League was part and parcel with Black Lives Matter. It is true that some of the largest financiers of left-wing anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans. They went all in on woke, and it wasn't just ADL. It was some of the top Jewish organizations in the country that have done that. In fact,
understand that a lot of these people are really racist, okay, and that's not necessarily, it's not everybody. It is some people in here that are really, I'm a little bit racist. I mean, I don't want to kill everybody, but I want white only communities or whatever and stuff like that. I want to be able to do what everybody else does and kind of have an ethno state. Because I think that if you look at the statistics of the demographics, we don't really have a crime problem. We have a demographics problem when 2.3% of the people are committing 52% of the murders and stuff like that. and then we have the Jewish question and everything like that. But just so y'all know, I don't, you might hear some crazy shit up in here. Not necessarily my viewpoints, but some of them are. Okay.
As being anti-Semites. But listen to this. Tucker Carlson is completely correct by saying this, that the philosophical foundation of anti-whiteness has been largely financed by Jewish donors in the country.
Ooh, I did not like that one. Crazy. All right, let's hit some.
Yeah, that one's pretty wild. That one's pretty basic. William, did you want to jump in? You said you wanted to say something, like 30 seconds. Go ahead, William, and then we'll go to the hands.
Oh, nothing big was just general. We're already on the subject. I was just going to say that it's very important that Trillion did not allow what happened yesterday to subvert the important discussion today of 9/11. I'm very glad that it's respect to Kirk's family and discussion of the event, which needs to take place prior. But it's really important, as there's no coincidence this was done on September 10th. And so it's not, we'll show the Jew. No, we'll show us that although we'll discuss this, nothing on the shelf will remain on the shelf. It will be brought down and analyzed as planned, just postponed. So Trillion, thank you for not allowing any subversion of this important issue. That's it.
Thank you, man. I will make sure that Dustin Emos does not come up here. I read you loud and clear. No, guys, that's like already Tommy Sotomayor. He's a good guy. He's a really great dude. But we spent quite a bit of time just like immediately the left. Here's my problem with this left-right paradigm is it's relative, and everyone really determines this stuff like based off of really an arbitrary set point of their own opinions. So if like you're more liberal, oh, you're to the left. If you're more conservative, you're to the right. The conversation should be around nationalism. Now, so if I ask like any person, like let's make our gauge. I believe in really strong nationalism. America first, all of that. Where are you going to put me on the scale? Oh, I'll put you on the right. Okay. Well, I believe that we should have strong borders, America first, and no immigration. Oh, you're far right. And it's just like, okay, well, I believe in strong nationalism, and we can have some legal immigration. Where does that put me? Oh, you're center, so I'm now to the left. Like, it's just a way to draw a distinction where there's no meaningful distinction to be made at all. What our argument here is, it's not about like, we have a nation that we need to take care of. When you understand if you read protocols, this is how you got to think of it as a parasite or as like malware. So we have a system that works. It has certain critical processes. One of those is like the government, the financial system, so on and so forth, education. Now, somebody who wants to come over and capture your nation, there's two different approaches. First, destroy everything, start over. That's what they're doing in Gaza. But there's another approach to it where you leave everything structurally in place. Even most of the people, you just take over who gets to make all of the important decisions, who gets to allocate the resources. The biggest allocator of resources is the government. So how would you weaken the government, right? We're not going to rebuild the whole nation. We're just going to take it as is. How would a relatively small group weaken a large, powerful nation in order to leave it as is, but just now be in charge of it? Well, that's what the protocols are about. And in the very first fucking protocol, you don't even have to get very far into it. It'll take you a grand total of 3 minutes to read this stuff. Is you institute, you convince people to start instituting this liberalism into the country. Now, it's not because you want everyone to be left. That's not the point of it. The point is that nations need leadership. That's by definition what a nation is. If no one's in charge, it's just not a fucking nation. It's just like this pagan bullshit. Like, who's in charge? Nobody knows, right? Like, who would you leave your legacy to? Another guy who doesn't believe in anything. Okay, that's why your pagan shit doesn't work. There's no continuity to it whatsoever. So what they do is they institute these liberal policies. It slackens the reins of government because you convince a bunch of people that you can have both. You can have as much freedom as you want. You can go chop off your wiener, do drugs, and bang a hooker. Like, you do whatever you want, bro. And for whatever reason, people find that alluring because we're all flawed. And then they realize we're sacrificing control, power over our nation for perceived freedoms. That is the slack. That is the slack. And then they come in and they're able to take that slack and reinstitute themselves as the new leadership, which will be far harsher than anything that you had before. But you think you got more freedoms. That's this whole liberalist bullshit. So the contention here is that, do you want to have a nation? Or, like, that works, that functions. Or do you want to be able to go chop your wiener off and do drugs on the weekend with your gay friends? Like, what do you want to do? Right? And so, sure, some people are going to want to do that, but those are not the people to be taken seriously. Go look across the landscape that is our government. You have a bunch of fucking people that are just like that. They really only care about enriching themselves and just getting more money. They really only care about getting away with doing whatever they want. Let's do some insider trading. Let's legalize some poisons, right? That's going to make us billions of dollars. Let's go start a war. Let's do a regime change. Like, all this fucking bullshit. That's the paradigm, guys. Do you believe in a nation that works well, or do you just want to be able to do whatever you want? And if you do, you should have no ability to change anything about the actual nation, because you're just fucking it up for hundreds of millions of people at this point. That's the contention. We got to point our fingers to the people who have sacrificed what it means to be a nation to pretty much just enrich themselves. That's the distinction. The same group has been doing this generation after generation after generation. You'd think we would have figured it out by now. But no. And that's where we are right now. And so it's really no surprise, right? So now they're going to say, they're going to come after things like speech, because if we can call it out, well, then maybe we can do something about it. If we can't even address where the rot is coming from, how are we going to fix it? Well, we can't. So first thing, nobody's allowed to talk about it. No one's allowed to talk about it. Oh, isn't that a great fucking balance? So, yeah, guys, that's where the paradigm is. I personally think it's about having strong nationalism. That's really what matters. That's what makes you impervious to this mind virus, this malware that is the entire Israeli lobby, Jewish lobby, Zionist, whatever you want to call it. It's just a mechanism by which they raise funds at infinite rates, apparently, to be able to go and offer shit to weak men who have found themselves at the positions positions of power, so that they sell your freedoms down the fucking down the river, and then they know the only thing that really matters here, and again, still first protocol, is might makes right. Then comes the fist. And that's what Yuri Bezmenov was saying, is that most people are not going to wake up until a boot crashes their balls. We're trying to give you a heads up here, and in this event here, in Charlie Kirk's case, we've played the clips, guys. You see, he was not completely sold on everything they were doing. He still has to temper himself. You heard in that last clip where he said, okay, it's not all Jews, and then someone actually laughed, right? So he has someone else in the studio mic'd up, and he started kind of laughing. He's like, oh, right? That's where we're at. You can't meet these people halfway. And unfortunately, they've chosen to make an example out of Charlie Kirk, who certainly did not deserve it. We could have had the debate.
I wanted to let him speak on that nationalism thing, because I agree with it, like, wholeheartedly. But for your question, blessed one, could this be a Kabbalah ritual, something that lines up with the planets around this time? It's absolutely Kabbalah. If you don't know nothing about the Jew question, the Jewish people, the ones that are following the Talmud, okay, not just the Torah, which is the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, but the Talmud is the writings of the Pharisees. It comes from the Canaanites. It comes from the Kabbalah, okay, and the yes, we are absolutely facing demonic. This is a demonic, satanic it all boils down to good versus evil. Yes, I 100% think that could be the case, and probably is the case. It was a ritualistic sacrifice on the world stage. Yeah.
Nationalist. He loves America, all that stuff. A month down the road, you're like, so how those deportations go? Well, it didn't go so well, right? They can only basically tout their successes like on the day it's announced and never again. That's what we're pointing out. So don't give up your power to this stuff. We don't have a lot of it to begin with. And to sit there and glaze and sugarcoat and convince each other, that's what they really want. They want to put it on a fucking autopilot. They tell you some bullshit. We all circle the wagons and say, guys, let's go for the bullshit this time, because not going for it last time was like really rough.
It's better than the Democrats.
Yeah, you want Kamala? Like,
honest to God, I mean, like I've said recently, it's close now. She couldn't manufacture the consent Trump could. Absolutely not. People would be pushing back on all this. But you're dead on. People listen to rhetoric all the time, and I've said it for the last 6 months. If I'm scared of the monster that Trump can become, and here we are. Everything you said, I mean, we could go down the line. And then, a couple weeks ago, we have RFK doing his universal vaccine funded by Bill Gates. And then the next day he says, but nobody knows besides us that it's funded by Bill Gates. Says, we're gonna investigate Bill Gates and stuff. It's like, what, this motherfucker's at having dinner with Trump. And then Trump 2 weeks ago, like it's this give and take. Like I was talking with Escanor about last weekend, and the guy Dorian.
Let me cut in. This guy is a low IQ motherfucker. He doesn't realize how rulers work and how power works. You sit down with other rulers, just because you don't get along with them or you think they're evil or whatever, that doesn't mean shit. You get down and you collect information and you figure out where the shit's at. Him sitting down with Bill Gates doesn't mean he's aligned with Bill Gates. That means him sitting down with Putin doesn't mean he's aligned with Putin. Him sitting down with doesn't mean he's aligned with Netanyahu. Y'all are low IQ fucking retards that don't know how power works, and so you have to make strategic alliances and get with people and align yourself with them on things that you agree with and that you can use them for, and not that's how relationships between countries work, bro. That dude's a low IQ motherfucker. I didn't even like him speaking on my channel.
Got it. Bill Gates sitting next to Melania. I would not let that man in the same room as my wife, but okay, sitting right
keeping
next
his
to
enemies
her.
close. He's setting a trap for him. That's what Cog Drogo and Patriot Storm told me.
Yeah, look, that is the representation, that room, of the most capably evil people that we have in our country. They all got together, and I think it's in response to that giant military parade where China threw down hard. All right, they wheeled everything out, not just like one of.
Yes, they sit at the same table but have their own agendas. That is correct. That is how power works. And I mean, if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I wouldn't want my wife sitting next to Bill Gates either. But guess what, bitch? I ain't the fucking president. And if I was the president, I would have to make that shit happen. I would have to make those sacrifices. But thank God I'm not called into that. I'm called into just helping to spread information.
Like a girl carrying a drone in her hand. And they're like wheeling out these like super exotic looking, it's like hypercar of drones kind of stuff just rolling down the street. And so you saw that picture where all the world leaders are walking together. I think that was one of the most powerful pictures we've had as of recent, right? So you got you got China, Russia, everybody. Basically everybody who we've been sanctioning and tariffing and just being total assholes to, if not full-on regime change in their country.
And then it cuts to break, and it's sponsored by Palantir, our military parade.
It was literally, our military parade was literally
100% demoralization. Here's your military, a bunch of fat guys out of shape, and like you said, holding drones and sponsored by Palantir, and you got cannons from like the 1770s. It's straight up demoralization. It's out of control. It really is.
Where did they even get that shit from? They like got it out of a museum.
Chris Fuentes is like the only one that will call it out and say, so like you said, stop fucking voting for the lesser of two evils or doing the Alex Jones. That's why I like that when he wanted Alex Jones, he pushed back on him finally because he's too nice to him at times. And rightfully so. That's where, like earlier I was going to say, he is calculated and people will shit on him too much. Like I'm sure you saw like 2 weeks ago, he actually kind of went at the Groypers and the super chatters because they were like, what are you talking to Bannon for or whatever? Bannon's fucking piece of shit. And I don't like Bannon. He sucks off Jews. And I think I actually, this is my new, not prediction, but I see it coming to fruition. He's the new limited hangout, how Tucker was in Candace the last couple of years.
I like Bannon, by the way, and I like Candace and I like Tucker when they're talking about the right shit. Sometimes they talk about gay shit, but sometimes they're talking about the right shit and pushing the right agenda, just FYI.
Anyone, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I get where Fuentes is coming from. He's like, first of all, who are we? Because someone super chatted him. They're like, why are we talking to Bannon and this and that? Like, disavow. And rightfully so, Fuentes went off. He's like, no, there is no we. I'm the operation. And he is right. He's like, I don't think I align with Bannon and everything, but I don't want to make enemies for no reason. And he's completely correct. And that's where, like you were saying earlier, he's a lot more calculated than people give him credit for. And I agree with him. That's my stance. That's how I am. I mean, I'm nice anyways, but I don't like to make pointless enemies. And he's even said, he's like, I probably won't agree with Bannon, but what good would it do for me to just sit here and shit on Bannon on my show for no reason? Then I'm going to obviously have no chance to try to find middle ground or try to find something along the lines. And that's where, like you were saying earlier, and like I just said 3 times, he's calculated. And it was interesting, too, because he told the Groypers, like, I can be brimstone and fire every night and, go fucking crazy and shit on everybody like you guys want. But, you guys love dissuading me and telling me that I can't talk to this person, can't talk to that person, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he's right. At the end of the day, obviously, he runs the ship and he's the one that calls the shots.
Here was the fear. Here's the real reason that, like, Charlie Kirk and Fuentes never had a chance to actually sit down. You have to understand, it would have been probably the most powerful fusion of media. This isn't even really being hyperbolic. That has probably existed in the modern era. If that were to happen, we have to give credit where credit is due. And that was never ever going to be allowed to happen, guys. Those platforms combined absolutely smoke Fox. Nobody's watching that shit. CBS hired Barry Weiss to try to pull them out of a complete fiery tailspin.
And Jewish spy.
It's just it's unbelievable.
You're right. Keyword allowed to happen because, as we all know, number one, Fuentes cooked Candace, so he would cook Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, was honestly fucking crazy. But if they did sit down and cook him, and people realize that he's not this big, bad, anti-Semite, racist, that's I think the biggest reason why he called out Tucker, obviously, and said, talk to me, Tucker. You can defend Kevin Spacey last year. Candace can defend Harvey Weinstein. Again, Tucker randomly fucking is remaking Kevin Spacey's image. He's remaking Eric Prince's image. All these things. Just talk to me. But they know if they let him actually talk, that people will
I think the 9/11 thing's coming up. Heidi's the one. Oh, she just dropped. I just seen her drop. So she was still in the room. Nope, there she's connecting back. That's the one that is going to have the pilot on that was a whistleblower from 9/11. I think, I don't know if they're trying to get that pilot worked into the room or if they decided to switch over or whatever. I'm going to follow it, and we'll get on to the 9/11 topic as soon as she gets her room fired up. I'm going to follow her right now to make sure I can, if she starts her own space, I can do it. I got to actually go make a pic too right now, so I won't be able to talk for a while.
Lied to on a constant basis. Is that like a revolutionary idea? Like maybe try to tell the truth sometimes, at least. And we're just sick of this shit. It's gotten us absolutely nowhere. People are more in debt. They have less to look forward to. And Tim Dillon does a good job of articulating it. And he goes, at least in prior generations, in order to, like, they would kind of buy your consent because you'd have a nice house, you'd have a car, the husband or wife would work and they would have enough income and they would be able to retire. And now you're looking at the young generation where you're like, you're going to get to deliver a Caesar salad and you're never going to work. You're never going to have a house
every night.
Yeah, exactly. And like your reward for that is you get to bring me a Caesar salad on DoorDash so I could tip you $2. Like they're just
Hey, guys.
with it. Yeah.
Trillion, sorry, I sent you a DM. Just check out the picture in the DMs. And also, I was just gonna jump in real quick. I'm gonna be on my way out. So I'm one of those who sees things much differently from you guys. I've been paying attention to the Charlie Kirk guy. I went to his Albuquerque. I was outside of his Albuquerque event that he had a few like weeks ago in New Mexico. I mean, the guy was openly all over the place. He spoke and sounded like he supported Israel. And then at the same time, he also spoke and sounded like he was against Israel. And he was openly against Palestine. I mean, literally saying that Palestine never existed and stuff like that. So I think this guy, honest to God,
I'm on the same page as you. At the end of the day, I don't want to but I mean, rest in peace.
Let me finish. I'll give you the mic.
Charlie Kirk's stances.
Let me finish. I'll give you the mic, brother. No, I think this guy was somebody who found an avenue where he could capitalize on playing all sides of the fucking field. He was playing for the left, the right, the middle, and the fucking up and down in a way of profiting from it. And I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Alright, I ain't listening to that fucking bullshit. I don't know what he's about to do, be talking shit about fucking Charlie, but I ain't trying to hear that.
I think he became the second option because these guys they tried to assassinate Trump to kind of spark World War III. And I think this guy became the next heaviest weight after Donald Trump. And I think the effect that they are looking for from maybe a Trump assassination, they're going to get the same effect from killing this lesser guy with less political backlash. And this is going to kind of be used now to spark the same agenda that they were trying to build with the Trump thing, I guarantee.
Again, I'm not responsible for these motherfuckers that talk this dumbass shit, okay? You know, some people get on here, everybody's got their own views. Sorry, I'm getting back to work, so I gotta make some picks. But I'm gonna leave the space going. I can't help it when retards talk, bro.
Along with shoe and palm prints, authorities have clear images of the college-age suspect. Interesting, but are withholding release for now. I don't know why, but yeah, you're right. Fuck Israel, I forget what your old name was, but yeah, you're right. Again, last night.
Fun Studio.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, last night they didn't even have a suspect, and all of a sudden, John Solomon, who's a Jew, and Hannity are saying that there's quote-unquote foreign intelligence aspects in the story, and it's like, you don't even have a suspect, so how do you know? And it's 100% going to set up to be Iranian.
Hey Keith, there's some stills. There's some still photographs of the same event. I just sent it to Trillion in his DMs. For some reason, we can't put anything in the purple pill. So there's some stills of the same event captured from the same camera at different times, where on one picture on the hand that he's holding the microphone on, the wedding ring is on the pinky finger, and then the next still shows the wedding ring on the ring finger. So obviously there's a game here.
For like a half hour earlier, trust me. We already went down that rabbit hole. This is interesting though. Why are they like being so coy about all this stuff? It's very weird. Then 45 minutes ago, the FBI has tracked the movements of Charlie Kirk's shooter and has video footage of him. Quote, we are confident we will be able to identify him. Wait, I thought you have footage. He jumped off the building and fled into a neighborhood after killing Charlie. I swear to God, man, they do not want to catch these motherfuckers. And like this guy I've been posting who I don't know, I found him on the timeline yesterday. I said, wait, why aren't they releasing footage of the suspect? You can use quote unquote technologies to identify him, but you can also use the general public. What the fuck is this shit? Something stinks to high heavens, like they don't want to. AG, what's your read on this? Because you're always
All right.
Yeah,
Real quick, hold on before AG goes. I think we have some breaking news here. This is just the latest. Fuentes posted it. I think it just came out, actually. It says FBI agent Bo Mason confirmed that a high-powered bolt-action rifle was recovered in a wooded area after Charlie Kirk's assassination, along with shoe impressions and a palm print. Authorities also say they have a clear image and video of the suspect, described as college age, but will not release this at the time. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is the FBI agent.
We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It's a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled.
All right, I don't know if it's just a bad video. Let me just try to cycle real quick. Go ahead.
I was good. I want to see AG's read on this whole situation because something's so weird here.
Were you asking about that gun found or?
I mean that. Thing I just said, and then just the whole thing in general. What your thoughts are?
Oh man, well, it's 9/11 today, so they don't want us talking about 9/11. Look at us, we're talking about this stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. They're just it's the onslaught is not gonna stop, and anything that takes place is going to be leveraged in this fashion. So we can keep. I think someone said it earlier, like there's a good analogy about how this is just not gonna stop, and I kind of mirror that. Like it's just not gonna stop. We need to focus on keep talking about what we need to talk about, but this stuff is just not gonna stop. The way that it's designed. The propaganda apparatus is like it manipulates literally anything to fit into one of the buckets of division, and that's what they're trying to do. And that's they want us to implode because they don't actually have the means to come and disrupt in the way that they need to do. So they need us to do it ourselves. So that's my read on this, honestly. And I just kind of keep trying to balance that with the fucking atrocity that this is, and I've talked about it in some of the chats. Like, dude, the violent gore exposure that this has produced just in the last week for literally everybody is some intense. It's some intense exposure, man. This used to be shit that you had to go find and then endure yourself. That you talk to your. You guys remember the old videos?
Yeah, what was those websites? Those websites to go to get the gore. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rot.com.
Yeah, there you go, my man.
Yeah, like, but this.
Yeah, you're right. You just have to seek it out. Now it's right there in your timeline.
Yeah, this is a mass exposure. Like I was working, and like literally, like my mom sent me this shit, so she's seeing it. You know what I mean? Like everybody is fucking seeing it. And it is an onslaught. And I told my chick, I go, don't go online. Like it's fucking even worse today than it was yesterday because we were watching the girl on the bus, right? Like, nope, already saw it. Okay, everybody's already been exposed to this. Like we're being almost acclimated to greater gore,
Yeah, you're right. It's like obviously Palestine, that's what they're doing for one of the reasons they're allowing us to see it in 4K because they could hide it under military control just like when Iran was bombing them, but they want us to see the genocide. Let me read this off real quick. I guess Steve Crowder said they got some exclusive. It's in the front of the nest. This morning, my team received an email from an officer at the ATF. The email included a screenshot from what appears to be an internal message describing a weapon and cartridges located by an ATF and other law enforcement near the scene of the Charlie Kirk shooting in Utah State. On September 10th, approximately 12:42, conservative Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in Utah. Mr. Kirk was speaking. The American Comeback List LCA agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser .30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area. Again, an imported Mauser .30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near their campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridges was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top of the fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them. Of course, they do expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. There it is. Stephen Crowder.
But hold on, I got a question. Why would there be multiple? Why would there be multiple shots in there? Like this fucking guy's planning on getting multiple shots off?
No. Yeah, it makes no sense. This is a complete setup.
This is not a
I know. Yeah, let me just finish real quick. There's one more paragraph left. So and I agree. It's a side. They're
30 on
the
6
center thing. So all cartridges had engraved writing on them expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted, and ATF LSC is working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI for DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional improper information. Multiple people of interest having contacted or detained because of eyewitness testimony and review of the video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other federal agencies. So that's that. So there they go. In Vox Veritas, our guy said from an officer. I call bullshit.
I'm gonna bet on this right now. They're gonna misgender the shooter.
They're already planting the trans shit, and if it's Crowder that's putting it out there, I don't trust Crowder that much either. And like AG says, I guess why is there?
This is the onslaught of like confusion and artifacts that are just going to continue to divide people. Though, like this is fucking irrelevant at this point. Like you fucking murdered in front of everybody in high definition with all these fucking angles, whatever whatever we think took place there, it doesn't matter because everybody saw the same kind of thing.
This is why I like you, AG, because you think outside the box.
And the fucking impact is a massive chilling effect. I hear Wolf coming up yesterday going, man, this fucking shook me. And I'm sitting here as anonymous as I can be. My profile's all locked up. I'm like, this fucking shook me. Like this shit hits home. These motherfuckers are trying to. This is literal what terrorism is supposed to accomplish, and that's what it did. Now we're all over here. We're freaking out over the details, but the actual effect is a massive chilling effect. How many people do you think are going to go out in fucking crowds in the wide open and start to say shit, or continue to say shit, or are going to flip on their fucking narrative that they
People are canceling events. That's why I've been asking people, like, what would you do? But yeah, it's a chilling effect. They're letting you know that we can touch anybody, anywhere. You better fucking watch your mouth.
Do you guys mind if I comment on that caliber real quick?
Yeah, real quick. So I just you were saying before, because it makes this why I like you to think outside the box. So I think I get what you're saying. You're saying they're throwing all these little nuggets at us one by one, the transgender, the gun, all this stuff. We haven't identified them, this and that, to basically, like you said, muddy the waters, that they can confuse us when we all know what the fuck happened and just find
They're just lying.
Yeah, I want to hear Guerrillion on the cartridge real quick, but on one more thing, what Trillian just said about the events being canceled. This happens. Insurance will not cover a fucking event. There's no way that anyone will be able to hold an event. So it's not even like people are telling him or anyone else or the agents are saying, hey, we're not cool with this. It's like functionally, we logistically cannot hold events anymore because no one's willing to take on that.
Jimmy Dore canceled his interview with Nick Fuentes. That's not even a venue. The venue insurance will not actually allow any of this stuff to. Even if you wanted to go, the venue will say, yeah, we can't. They're our insurance company, blah, blah, blah. This is actually how they control fucking everything, is these goddamn insurance agreements. All right.
Wow,
let me see if I can play.
Comment on the caliber. Okay, go ahead.
It's a 308 Winchester, which is what we thought.
What was it?
30-06. The update of what was 30-06, which is tremendously more powerful than a freaking 308. It's a disgrace to anybody that's a firearms owner.
Yeah.
Anybody that's a vendor.
You want to say something real quick, Justin?
Yeah, go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
Yeah, hey guys, appreciate the space and good morning. Didn't sleep that well, but to your point with the 308, 30-06, I grew up shooting bolt action rifles, Mausers, World War II stuff, all the way up to modern platforms with ARs and stuff. And my experience, with firearms, my mother was a sharpshooter, and I grew up in a military family. So the problems that I see right off the rip of this video last night, which is why I made a ballistics chart. If you guys think of some of those crime scene investigation photos where, they'll have strings, tracking bullet patterns and stuff like that. There's too much happening in that video for, I mean, I've seen, estimates where this guy was, on the parking garage or this other place. It comes from a very specific direction. It comes from a very specific caliber, because to the point of the other gentleman, a 30-06 will take your head off. That's not an in and out type of caliber. I believe that we're looking for a caliber that would be somewhere in the range of a 357 Magnum, which even further down into pistol rounds that you can chamber carbines for these days, or possibly up to 223. But that was a severely secluded shot and well placed. And as far as ballistics, once it enters the body, you kind of think about the trajectory, the speed, the drop rate. Once it actually hits the target, your neck and throat isn't really as thick, I guess you want to say, as like your belly or your butt. Then you have a clavicle. You have a lot of bone structure there that can, direct the bullet different places. And that exit wound with the amount of blood that immediately came out, that was an all-star shot. Not to praise it, but I mean it's a perfect shot. So I see the hallmarks of an expert, all the way down from the planning of the caliber and the execution of the shot.
But here's they're saying 30-06. 30-06. For some reason I thought you said 8 at the end there. A 30-06. It's like an antique. Like you shot him with like a correct brand. Like you shot him with like a World War II lesson. I mean, what? It's just a lie. He went to an antique shop and got his like grandpappy's dad. Like,
it could be. I mean, the truth. I mean, he did get blown the fuck open, and it could be.
It would be worth That's not that big.
He knows a lot about guns, so that he's just hunting rifle bolt action.
There's not that. So the modern replacement for a 30-08 is a 7.62, and that would be very common. I mean, come on, like that did not. No, I don't believe he was shot with an antique rifle. That's ridiculous. It's just a lie. It was probably something, maybe 7.62. Maybe I don't know. I think a 308 would be fairly standard. A 7.62 would be more likely, but I don't know why they're the ones who said it was a 308 to begin with.
I mean, you talk about a small entry and then a large exit if it exits right, and then in order to exit, you need velocity sustained through the target. At the range that I feel this was taken at, you can achieve that with a very particular high quality 223 round. When you get up to the higher calibers, you deal with weight.
All right, so it looks like she started her space for 9/11. I'm gonna switch over there. This is with the pilot Whistleblower for 9/11. So if y'all are still interested, hit the like button. If not, you can, whatever, move on with your day. I appreciate y'all watching.
You're from cover within a window.
Opposing the fake Holy Land. You know how Satan mimics and likes to invert things. You ask yourself, how did this 911 happen? And when I saw the interview with you, Dan, with Sheikh Imran Hussein, I am in the same exact belief that it's to replace Pax Americana with Pax Judaica to advance all of Israel's advancement for the Greater Israel Project, ushering in the Patriot Act from the start and ending with the Noahide laws, which we see in plenty of places today, especially now we see it in Texas. So he linked this 911 event in the interview that I saw with you, dear Dan. He linked it to the assassination of Franz Ferdinand in 1914 in Sarajevo that led to a chain of events for World War II. Now, let's think about this. When you want to take control over the world and you want to take control over the most precious land in the Middle East, which is Syria, for Pax Judaica, you need to have Syria. Syria needs to be in your grip. So 9/11 and Bashar Assad's birthday, 9/11, I don't think that's a coincidence. It took them 14 years to get in. It did take them a long time to get in, but they did roll in December 8th, 2024. They rolled in all the operations. It took them 14 years. Again, all the operations started busting in. Operation Timber Sycamore, the Clean Break, Yodid Anand finally broke through. And when Syria fell, when it fell into their hands, into the Israelis' hands, via Giuliani, it wasn't freedom that they got. Instead, they got the no-name game. But first thing they did, and then I'll get straight to you, dear Dan, the first thing they did was burn down the passport immigration office. So you don't know who your family is, so there is no name, and no one knows who's daddy when they came into that land. They don't want family unit in all aspects of life. So the land grabs came, massacres of over now maybe 80,000 Syrians all over Syria. Syria got whacked with sleeper cells that invaded, and the men that came in were trained, over 100,000 men from different countries, around Syria. They were trained in sleeper cells. They finally came to assassinate, to take over, to kill, to spill blood, what America's seeing right now, because they do that. They fund both sides of the war. They put sleeper cells on both sides of the world. And when they say go, it goes. And that's what 911 was, to advance this whole agenda of Pax Judaica. So the advances of all of Israel's agenda, taking away all American rights, again, starting with Patriot Act, ending with the Noahide laws. So, and we see now what's happening in America with the recent killings and the race wars and the division and more blood spilling. Like, where's Kirk's shooter right now? And the judge, the girl that the girl that just got killed on the subway from Ukraine, the judge let that killer of Zarutska let him loose over 15 times, and she's a judge. And I just found out 35 states in the United States of America, you don't need a law degree in order to be a judge. Now, make that make sense. And I know what you went through, Dan, when you were trying to get all your papers together, because you knew they were coming right after you to discredit you. And one of the things you did is you went to Atlanta and you made sure you got that medical safety certificate. You went to one of the best counselors in Atlanta, and I want you to tell the story. But 32 states in the USA require no law degree to judge over people. How does that work? Make that make sense. So what happened with all those hijackers? So this is Dan. Dan's going to be speaking about this. He is a whistleblower, 911 whistleblower, 35 years in aviation, 10 years U.S. Navy, and 25 years captain United Airlines. And he will let him speak for himself, dear Dan. Welcome here. I'm really glad that you came. And tell us, there were no hijackers on the plane for 911? And can you please let us know about how did the airplanes get there? They drove themselves there remotely? Go ahead, dear Dan.
Okay, Heidi, thank you for that introduction. And I'll just give a little bit more background on me so people know who I am, where I'm from. I'm a 76-year-old Muslim American citizen married to a Pakistani Muslim. I reside in Islamabad, Pakistan, where we've lived for 15 years. And I don't need to be doing what I'm doing right now, but I feel I started as a whistleblower in 2002 and know too much about the lies of 9/11 remain silent. So here I am. And yes, you mentioned my 35 years in aviation, 15 airplanes, accruing 20,000 flight hours, and I don't say that to boast my accomplishments as a pilot, but only make the statement that with all my experience, I could not have possibly flown the 9/11 flight profiles, in particular the Pentagon profile, which we can talk about here in a bit, and neither could these alleged, inexperienced, unqualified Muslim hijackers. So I'm not the only one who feels this way. There's 300,000 airline pilots in the world, roughly a total of 900,000 pilots overall. And not one single pilot was permitted to testify before the 9/11 Commission, not a single one. And that was because of a man named Philip Zelikow, who was the executive director of the 9/11 Commission, who precluded him from testifying. He was a neocon Zionist. So because of this, we knew. I'll talk about my grounding later on, if you don't mind, Heidi. But I spearheaded an effort, and we created a group called 9/11 Pilot Whistleblower. We started out with just a Facebook group, and then we expanded to include a radio program, and further on a website. We started doing podcast appearances and got real active on social media. And I currently serve as a director and international public spokesperson for this grassroots effort that consists not just of pilots, but of members of the general public. We created a website, 911pilots.org, and you can join us on that website at the top of the page.
I don't know if he got cut off. What's happening? Can y'all hear him? I can't hear him. Y'all hear what's going on? I don't hear anything. I'm gonna have to leave.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can hear Dan. But what happened to Dan? Is he there?
He's there, but it looks like he's having trouble being heard.
Okay, Dan, unmute, Dan. Unmute your microphone. I think your microphone's muted. By the way, Trillion has Beryllian 6 at the bottom in listeners. And Beryllian at the bottom, and Beryllian has over 1,000 people, and the other space listening on you, Dan. Are you there? Can you open up your mic? Oh no, I hope he doesn't.
How many do you have? Can you text him? Or maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna text him right now. Hold on a second. Dan, can you hear us? Hold on a second. Let me just make sure he can hear us.
I think it's not everybody that we should wait for Dan for everyone. So just continue. Give the floor to everyone one by one.
Hold on. One second.
Take your time. Thanks everyone for being here.
He's back. Dan, can you say hello? Is your mic open? Oh, hold on a moment. Yeah, he's probably something to do with his.
Can you not make it?
I hate when this crap happens. The X spaces can be glitchy as hell, so I understand if you get bored and you got to move on or whatever, but we want to get him back up here. I want to hear this conversation.
So he had to do another one. And hold on, let me just send him this message. Let me make sure he can do it.
I mean, you give the floor to someone else before.
No. Hold on. Let me. He accepted co-host. So hold on. He is co-host. Okay, Dan. Thanks for accepting to co-host. Can you speak? Is your microphone okay? Oh no, his audio. They're not letting him talk. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, he is co-host, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So anyways, I'll go ahead and keep going until he. Oh, okay, Dan, can you say something? That was a double mute. Okay, so yeah, they're probably messing with him. Again, he's a whistleblower. He lost over $40 million talking about how there were no hijackers and how the airplanes, they were controlled. They were remote controlled airplanes. And he'll explain it to you. I just wish he would come back. Let me try one more time. If it doesn't work. Hello?
Alright, if it doesn't work this time, I'm going to jump back over to Trillion space.
Pressing the mute button, I think.
No, but even when his mic is open, we can't hear him. He might need to recycle out and come back.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do that. Dan,
So remove him from the sentence once again, not him, or send him the link.
Sorry about that, guys. I know I wanted to hear that too, but this is I know I wanted to hear it too, but We'll try to jump back over there in a few minutes.
In front of the nest, you might be right. This is the guy that ran.
I bled out all my damn listeners. I'm down to just a couple now, so just 14 from like 90 or whatever. So everybody got bored and ran away.
He said, remember the heavily doctored image they released of Lee Harvey Oswald holding a bolt-action rifle, and then the people in the comments are saying exactly, rifle and rounds found exactly that. Kirk, a threat far bigger. Lee Harvey Oswald 2.0 will be so easy to pull off. Someone said the findings are also phony. I want to throw up. Same playbooks by the same people, so I guess we shall see. But yeah.
It's because we have a non-representative government, brother. They don't represent us anymore. They're acting on behalf of a foreign intelligence agency. As long as that is the case, we're not going to see justice for anything like that. Imagine investigating yourself. They probably were, I mean, if they're working for Israel, right, and they're investigating an assassination like this, do you think we're ever going to find out who did this? Do you think they're publicly ever going to name who is actually responsible for this? No. This is what happens. This is going to continue. Have we had any justice for anything we've seen over the last 5 years? Nothing.
No, not at all.
It's not going to happen. It's like
maybe give us a patsy, but no, you're right.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking something's going to change.
Like, it's not even letting me. It only tells me to remove from co-host, right? I can't even do that.
Yeah, I said it yesterday before too. It seems like they didn't want to.
Yeah, they're having too many technical difficulties over there. We're gonna stick with Trillion Space.
Gun, anything, and then he's saying weird shit. It seems like he was in on it, which gave the shooter time to leave. Now, like, they're saying, why are they saying that they have an image of the guy, but they're not releasing it? They believe it's a college-age male they have palm prints now. The gun was in the woods, but the point I was making before is that people are now rightfully questioning the gun. Was it that and stuff like Trillion was. And this actually kind of goes to AG's point. That's why I love my man AG. He's always thinking outside the box. They're fucking throwing a lot of shit at us all of a sudden that isn't really adding up. And it's just a lot of fucking roads to nowhere, which is their specialty. It's just.
And what do you see now, Keith? Tell me what you see now. You see people like James Wood and all these, neoconservative people saying, "Oh, leftists, you want civil war? We'll give you civil war. Let us know." This is what they're intentionally doing. This. They're trying to pin this on making this a left versus right.
Oh yeah.
Evil issue.
I was talking about it earlier. Yeah, Javier Milei came out yesterday. He was fucking saying it's the leftists, it's the liberals. Obviously, Alex Jones, Elon, Lib's a fucking Jew, Chabad, Lubavitch, TikTok, Loomer, Benny Johnson, Nick Sorer, the usual suspects. And it was before they even had anybody. And that's why earlier we were saying, luckily people in here are smart. They're trying to tug on emotions, obviously, because like AG said, they want us to do something. They want us to react so then they can crack down with Palantir, obviously, and crack down with National Guard or whatever. But the suspect thing is just weird. They don't seem interested in catching this guy in that, I'm assuming, like Backup said fucking 8 hours ago before he fell asleep. He's like, the motherfucker's probably in Tel Aviv already, for all we know. I wouldn't disagree.
Of course he is. He jumped off the plane. He took a parachute right off the plane that took off from Provo Airport, wherever it was.
Yeah,
we're never going to find it.
They don't need to take a parachute, man. They landed in a giant Navajo res, and there's several directions you can go.
All right, let me see here.
Like, I looked at the map, I looked at the time, I looked how fast that fucking plane could go. They probably turned the radar off so that nobody showed up at the little Arizona airport or tried to follow them. And so, like, that flight was pretty short. And so that amount of time gave them 32 minutes head start. So then they land over in the Navajo res, and now they either go fucking east, they either go west. They didn't go east. I don't think they went east into New Mexico or anywhere towards Colorado. And I don't think it makes sense to try to go down into Phoenix because that's like pretty fucking obvious. I think they went towards Vegas. I think they went towards Vegas because it's an easy way to launder yourself back into the commercial airline system. So they're probably still fucking here. 7:30 in the morning. I even looked up Tel Aviv flights, like they're not that fucking plentiful. And LA LA is the one that has the Tel Aviv flight this morning. So they could have gone all the way to LA if they're going to Vegas.
And now we're
just a second, AD. ID has technical issues. You might want to check your DMs, Keith and Trillion. I think they want to get the pilot over here in your space.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely welcome to. I had to step away for just a second, but the space is running on multiple places. We should be good. If they, I don't have anything from Heidi. Yeah, I don't have any. Maybe they restarted it.
Yeah, she should just come up in here.
Yeah, I'll play it because it is interesting. The guy is a pilot. He understands what it would have taken to fly that trajectory.
Interesting. At sea level, yeah.
You know, the short of it, while he was able to speak, he was basically saying that, like, me with all my experience, like 17 years, I would not have been able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
So
that's what a lot of the pilots are.
When I get back,
If she should just come over here. I think if she was having technical difficulties.
It's his mic. For some reason, he keeps losing sound.
He's banned or something.
Yeah, they made a new account for him, but I think
he's losing sound. Interesting. I don't want to say but
yeah, we heard pretty much all he said, except for that part where he wouldn't have been able to make that flight path.
Yeah, the pilots that I've heard on a lot of these things, they say that if it, because I think the FTA, whatever the hell they are, so the FAA said the plane was going like 518 miles an hour or something like that, something around that range, and at sea level, because obviously the air is much thinner when you're higher up. At sea level, they say that the engines wouldn't be able to do that thrust. The engine would almost rip off, and it wouldn't even be able to make the left turn that one of them made. So it's all that stuff's. Oh, there's Heidi right there. All right, perfect. All right, Heidi.
Yeah, I'm trying to sorry, I had to drop a couple of people.
Get John up there, Heidi.
I got Heidi coming. Heidi, are you there?
You there, Heidi? Heidi.
Heidi, ho.
Were you guys saying that the actual pilot of this aircraft was speaking?
No, the pilot.
He's all pilot. He'll explain it.
Or not from 9/11, but knows about 9/11.
As you bring her up, you should probably clear some of the stuff in the nest. That way, so it keeps the things running.
I think we've been doing pretty good about it.
Yeah, I've been making sure it's semi-clear.
Yeah, we're pretty okay.
Where's the guy?
Just real quick, regarding a couple things that's in the nest real quick. I have my profile locked for a long time, so hopefully people can get a chance to see the 9/11 thing. And I did the other protocols retrospective that I shared with a handful of folks. So it'd be good for the crowd in here to see all that shit. There's 1,000 people that.
What'd you say you fly? So as your thing circling back in the nest, you fly a black flag all day today, fly an all black.
Yeah,
flag.
the 9/11 stuff, man. I put a lot together and then tried to distill it in a post for everybody, so you can kind of see how it connects and how it connects to what we're experiencing today with all this surveillance shit and Gaza. Like, it was all direct prerequisite. It was. It's just it starts to make sense. You know what I mean? And then the protocol stuff, I've shared with a handful of folks. It's just a retrospective saying this fucking already happened. We look at the protocols and then we look back at reality and history and go, this took place and this is when it took place. So it's just good background stuff.
You guys, Dan Hanley is in listeners. Can somebody please bring him up?
Yeah, where is he? Can he request?
Dan Hanley. Yeah, you see him. Well, he's having technical issues.
I followed him.
Can you send him the mic
from your other thing, but I'll send him the mic. I'm trying to find him.
Yeah, because Twitter, or X, whatever it's called, they knocked him off of his original page of over 80,000. But he's down there. He's next to Freddie Jew.
I got him. Invite to speak. All right, so if you get the mic,
awesome.
Dan, right now.
Okay, can I switch? Meowlian, can I switch co-host with you now?
Sure.
Thank you. Here you go.
Does he know how to get up? I sent him a mic.
Yeah. Dan, can you please accept the mic? Just accept mic.
Sometimes it goes away. You can also leave the space and then come back in and click speaker, and then it'll. That's an easy way to do it. Dan, if you can hear us.
Well, he's on a PC, so you know how that goes. He's not on a phone. Dan, we're waiting for you to come on up.
I sent him the mic. Let me send him another.
Okay, you see him though, right?
Hold on. Just send him a link to
hold on. Somebody, he just shot up.
There, I see him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's right there, Lister. Oh, he's up, right? Awesome.
Yay, bravo.
Trillian, can you change?
We got a mic check.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
you. Dan, you're with us.
Wonderful.
One sec.
Awesome.
Dan,
How
you're with us.
frustrating.
Welcome. One sec, real quick. Housekeeping. Heidi, you can actually change the title as well. So go ahead and edit it to whatever you want. Guys, we have a great pleasure here of having Dan with us. He is a pilot. He will fill in his whole backstory. Heidi, if you could change the title, that'd be perfect. Or just tell me what you want it to be. Anyway, Dan, welcome. How are you?
Thank you for correcting the problem here. I could hear you the entire time, and it was so frustrating that I couldn't talk. So.
All right, well, we got you.
Nice. I think you were talking, Dan, someone was saying in the other space about how you were saying how you wouldn't be able to make, because I've watched some videos recently, you wouldn't be able to make the turn or something into the towers, because I've seen also pilots say that at sea level they wouldn't be able to go 500 plus, I think is what the FAA said they were going, due to thrust and other reasons. They said that also that the tail fan, I think, would shear off with the banking of one of them. If you don't mind kind of just explaining any of that stuff.
Well, that's a controversy I've heard from structural engineers. Some say it would, others say it wouldn't, and we don't really get into that on 9/11 pilot whistleblowers. And you were talking about hitting the towers. The controversial issue is being able to hit the Pentagon, because even experienced pilots can't do it in a simulator.
Okay, that's where you guys were talking about the Pentagon.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, that one seems pretty obvious to me, to be honest. Yeah, that one's like there's no way that you're getting First, they would have had to go through, I think, like a bunch of telephone or light poles, which would have sheared off the wings, I think. And then I don't know how you'd be getting a 757 or whatever it was.
All right, we're all very excited. But I think Dan has a bit of a presentation. Like he'll share the website with you. So they've been working on this a lot of work put into it. Dan, did you have something kind of like prepared, or do you want questions? Or do you want to do questions?
Well, I just have bullet points in front of me. If we can do questions later, that'd be great. It'd probably take 20 minutes to get through what I have. For those of you who just joined me, I was a pilot my whole life. I flew 15 different aircraft over a 35-year career span, accruing 20,000 flight hours, and I made a statement that with all that experience, I couldn't have flown the 9/11 flight profiles, and neither could the alleged Muslim hijackers. They weren't even qualified on the airplane. So we created a grassroots effort called 9/11 Pilot Whistleblowers, and the website is at 911pilot.org. We got a YouTube channel at 911 Pilots, and we created this organization. It's for everyone, but especially from us, as you'll see as we continue on here. But I'll pick up where I left off. The purpose of our organization is to show that there were no Muslim hijackers controlling the 9/11 aircraft, but that the aircraft were electronically hijacked and remotely controlled through employment of a system called the uninterruptible autopilot that enabled the remote source to take complete control of the aircraft autopilot and flight management computer and fly the aircraft wherever it wants to take it, whether that be into a building, another airport, or somewhere else. And once the system's engaged, the pilots can't disconnect it. They're along for the ride. One of our goals has been to recruit highly trained and experienced pilots, whether they're active duty or retired military or civilian, from around the world. And I've personally conducted interviews with them. They're also on our website. There's a drop-down menu at the top. If you go to pilot interviews, you'll see a sampling of the interviews we've done. And all these pilots say, not only could the hijackers not have done it, the Pentagon profile in particular, but I couldn't have flown it myself. So you might be challenged to believe that a large commercial jet aircraft could be remotely controlled. So I'd like to run through real quick 3 examples over 80-year time span of remote control aircraft, because it dates all the way back over 80 years ago in 1944, when towards the end of World War II, the Army Air Corps, U.S. Army Air Corps, launched Operation Aphrodite in Europe, in England to be specific. And what they did was they take old B-17 bombers and they got the airplanes out to lighten the weight of the aircraft so they could load it up with 30,000 pounds of Torpex, which was a highly incendiary compound. Now, pilots were required to make the takeoff, but once they got airborne, they'd bail out of the aircraft. And these aircraft were remotely guided at targets in Europe. Now, mind you, this is over 80 years ago. This is the first example of a military drone aircraft that we know of, and they were remotely controlled. And we mentioned on our website that Joe Kennedy, JFK's older brother, was killed in one of these top secret missions when the airplane blew up before he had a chance to bail out. And we've got a short film clip on the website, on the remote control page of our website, that you can have a look at about that. But if you jump ahead 18 years now, as I go down this timeline, imagine throughout it, they were developing remote control aircraft technology. But jump ahead 18 years to 1962, the U.S. and the Pentagon were looking for ways to, excuses to invade Cuba and overthrow Castro. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff presented the Secretary of Defense with this plan called Operation Northwoods. And he presented this to Kennedy, who refused it. But what it called for was a series of false flag events, such as attacking a U.S. ship, the CIA attacking a U.S. ship on open waters, blame it on Cuba, conducting terrorist operations on U.S. soil, including attacking the Guantanamo base on Cuba, blame that on Castro. And also, this is the biggie, they were going to take a passenger jet loaded with passengers, fly it up towards Cuba, have an empty military aircraft join beneath it. The lead aircraft with passengers shuts off its transponder and disappears from radar, and what they have is this empty military aircraft that they blew up. They blew up this aircraft and said a MiG shot it down. Now this was in 1962, 39 years before 9/11, and they were talking about a false flag involving an aircraft blowing up and being flown by remote control. So there's nothing new about 9/11. It's exactly what they did. They used it to illegally invade Afghanistan without warrant, which we can talk about. And now you jump ahead 22 more years to 1984. This will be the last example I give. The FAA and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration conducted a joint crash test experiment in a remote location, and they took a 4-engine commercial jet airliner, a Boeing 720. They loaded it up with crash dummies and cameras because they wanted to test crew and passenger survivability in the event of a crash landing. And they took this airplane off by remote control, flew it around the pattern several times before intentionally crash landing, and we got a film on the website for that as well. So this was 17 years before 9/11. They were remotely controlling commercial jet aircraft, which brings us up into the early to mid 1990s, where we talk about this uninterruptible autopilot that we claim was developed, produced, and installed on commercial jet aircraft. As a matter of fact, we have a gent, I won't mention his name because it could get him killed, who claimed that he worked on this aircraft in 1996, 757, with this system installed. It was done on the ground where they faked the airplane into the air so they could test the autopilot system. And a man in maintenance control with a laptop took control of the airplane, and they couldn't regain control of the aircraft no matter what they tried. There's 4 ways of turning on an autopilot: by the switch, then there's a button. Turning it on is just with a switch. You can turn it off by turning that switch off, or there's a button on the yoke or the steering wheel that you can push, or you can push, have a 70-pound or greater force on one of the controls. That'll disconnect it. But even if you pull every circuit breaker on the airplane to remove electrical power from the system, it's got its own power source, and they can't disconnect it. Now, we've got a patent that we have on the system.
He went out, right, guys? Or is it me?
Yeah, no, his mic's muted. Dan, if you're still there, try to unmute yourself, please.
Please turn, please.
Okay, I don't know why that mutes itself.
You're good.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So this patent, they said Boeing didn't patent it until 2006, which proves it exists. But because we've got informants that have come out from Raytheon, Boeing, the military, and the civilian sector, we know that the patent's meaningless because we knew it was developed in the mid-1990s. Wikipedia even has an article. It used to say Boeing, Honeywell, uninterruptible autopilot. Well, now they know we're on to them. So if you Google uninterruptible autopilot, that's all you'll get is a Wikipedia article. That is misleading because they say it was patented in 2006. But this brings us up to the smoking gun, the hijackers themselves that I want to talk about. In particular, I want to talk about a 29-year-old Saudi Arabian hijacker named Hani Hanjour, who came to the States in the mid-1990s and to take flight training. Initially, he just wanted to come over to be a flight attendant, but then his brother talked him into becoming a pilot. And he started out flying little Cessna airplanes, and it's well documented that he was a poor pilot. I mean, after the fact, the New York Times, Chicago Tribune, ABC News, and other news outlets all reported he was a poor student. Even his instructors that he went flying with said he couldn't fly at all. So he went back to Saudi Arabia and came back to the States before 9/11 and was such a poor student that he tried to re-enroll in a flight school he attended before. They wouldn't take him because they said they didn't want to waste assets on him. So what's this maneuver he was supposed to have performed? American 77 is a plane that supposedly hit the Pentagon. Took off from Washington Dulles, heading for the West Coast. It got to cruise altitude for a while. All of a sudden makes an about face, 180-degree U-turn, and starting back into Washington and a descent. It got to 7,000 feet, and it commences this 330-degree descending, accelerating corkscrew turn to arrive precisely at the surface without skidding it at 500 knots, to drive it in just above ground level without skidding the surface, to hit the Office of Naval Intelligence in the Pentagon at over 500 knots on his first attempt. So what's wrong with that picture? Well, this same maneuver years ago was replicated in a simulator by another grassroots group called Pilots for 9/11 Truth, and they put experienced pilots in the seat and they crashed the simulator trying to fly this profile. And there's been recently a group called the International Center for 9/11 Justice, and they're conducting a similar scientific simulator experiment. And I was just listening to a presentation in Washington today, and the preliminary results show the same thing. Experienced pilots couldn't have flown the flight profile. So what is wrong? The story even gets better because Hani Hanjour, this was 1 month prior to 9/11, I think it was August 16th and 17th. He goes to the Freeway Airport in Bowie, Maryland, and wants to run a little Cessna 172. We're talking about a propeller-driven airplane, 180 horsepower maybe, whereas the 757 that he supposedly flew, where the Cessna is 27 feet long, the Boeing 767 is 160 feet, 180 horsepower versus 2 engines developing 48,000 pounds of thrust. Give me a break. But anyhow, he wants to rent a Cessna. And when you show up in an airport and they don't know you, they don't just throw you the keys and say, have a good time. You've got to go up on an evaluation flight to prove you could fly. We went up over a 2-day period, a 3-day period, no, it's a 2-day period with 2 different instructors, a man named Ben Connor and a woman named Sheila Baxter. And they came back after 3 evaluation flights between the 2 of them and reported to their chief instructor at the airport, Marcel Bernard, who I personally spoke with and confirmed his story, and he denied rental of Hani Hanjour of a Cessna 172 1 month prior to 9/11. So what did Hanjour do according to the 9/11 Commission? He went to Congressional Air Charter down the road, which was another fixed base operator, and went up flying with a pilot called Eddie Shalev in a Cessna again. And Eddie came back and reported that he was a good pilot. Now after 9/11, the FBI sent out agents and the 9/11 Commission sent out a staffer to interrogate all 4 of these pilots, the 3 at Freeway and the 1 at Congressional Air Charter. So what do you imagine appeared in the final report? Only Eddie Shalev's testimony, and it wasn't taken under oath, that he was a good pilot, and no mention was made that he had flunked 3 Cessna check rides 1 month prior to 9/11. So who was responsible for the suppression of this information? Philip Zelikow again, the guy that denied any pilot from testifying before the 9/11 Commission, the executive director of the 9/11 Commission, and FBI Director Mueller. They buried this story. But who was Eddie Shalev? He was an Israeli who came to the United States before 9/11 and actually served in the Israeli Defense Force. Now, was he Mossad? We don't know. He's left the states, but this was never questioned. So we've got, our organization has all this information and more, and we said, where do we take it? Because we looked at another grassroots group called the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry, and they took all this evidence they had showing that the World Trade Center buildings were brought down by controlled demolition all the way to the Supreme Court, and they were unsuccessful. So rather than go the legal route and join them, we decided we set off on our own, and knowing full well that we would probably get nowhere since Zionist House of the U.S. government were complicit in the planning and execution of the events of 9/11. But we wanted to run the full gamut with letters, emails, and phone calls to every relevant level and branch of the U.S. government to prove to anybody that read the letters that we sent, which are on our website, under letters on the drop-down menu, or you can look at the home page. We have a series of letters we link to there. But you can see who we wrote to and got nowhere. We went to the FBI. Nothing. They said, don't call us back, we'll call you. The Transportation Security Administration, the FAA, Department of Transportation, including the Inspector General, the Attorney General, the Director of National Intelligence, all the way to the President. And this just wasn't with the Biden administration. We also did with this was the Trump administration since January, and have gotten nowhere with it. So because of this is over a 2-year period that we wrote these letters that weren't, we sent them certified mail and they wouldn't, or actually DHL, and we wouldn't get a response. Emails they didn't respond to. Phone calls went unreturned. So what we decided to do, I personally wrote a letter to Biden, knowing he wasn't going to read it, but figured maybe his staff would, saying, hey, look, we gave you 2 years, you had your chance, we ran the full gamut, every level and branch of government, and you ignored it. So we're going to go offshore to other organizations and governments. And at this point in time, we decided that we were going to target the 2 billion strong Muslim community with the information that we have, because we felt that next to the next of kin of 9/11, there's no group of people on the planet Earth that have been more harmed by 9/11 than the 2 billion Muslims on the planet. So we went decided we were going to take it to Muslim leaders, scholars, and organizations and other government officials. And what we did, me living in Pakistan, I decided I was going to try to make an appointment to see the Prime Minister, Imran Khan. And I was told I had to go through the military sector. And long story short, I wound up having to go through the ISI, which is the Inter Services Intelligence, which is their CIA here. And hold on just a second. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I went to Pakistan ISI. I had an hour-long meeting with the colonel. They were very receptive to what I had to say. Say, look, we're going to bring you back. We're going to do a documentary. The Director General wants to talk to you, blah, 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 blah. And the next month, Imran Khan was ousted as Prime Minister, and that was the end of that. But we didn't stop there. We decided we were going to go to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which is in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And if you're not familiar with that organization, it's like the UN of the Muslim world. It represents 57 Muslim countries, and the representatives to the cooperation are the 57 ministers of foreign affairs of each of these countries. So we not only wrote and called the Office of Organization of Islamic Cooperation, we wrote letters, sent emails, and we didn't get any. I did get through on the phone a couple times, but when they heard what I was all about, and I'll tell you where we were headed with this in a minute, we got nowhere. So we went to the Muslim World League in Jeddah, the European Muslim League, and the Council of Muslim Elders, and just about any Muslim organization, major one, globally, we went to. And what we were petitioning all of them was, hey, how about establishing, since the U.S. isn't receptive and the West isn't receptive to reconvening a 9/11 commission or an investigation into our allegation that the aircraft were electronically hijacked and remotely controlled, why don't the big Muslim community establish an international Islamic commission for 9/11 inquiry, a Muslim 9/11 commission? Because what we offered them was this, not just what 9/11 pilot whistleblowers had to offer them as far as the uninterruptible autopilot, but we're affiliated with all these major 9/11 whistleblower groups in the world, like the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry, Architects and Engineers, Richard Gage, the International Center for 9/11 Justice, and other organizations. We said, look, if you establish a commission, it won't cost much to fly witnesses over here with all their evidence, and we'll lay it at your feet. We got nothing. We got nothing from any of them. So that we were hoping that if they'd establish a commission, perhaps some country with all the information we have, although we don't trust the International Criminal Court in The Hague, would be to take it there to expose what we know and hopefully energize 2 billion Muslims, not to have riots or create violence, but to increase awareness amongst this group of people that's been so harmed with Islamophobia and everything else, which I believe the term Islamophobia was just coined by the CIA or some organization to give Muslims a black eye. But if you look at what has happened since 9/11, Islam, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, has been slandered. The Holy Quran has been desecrated. Islam has been demonized, and Muslims have been persecuted for a crime they didn't commit. And that's our intent, is to expose the crime. So where could we get help from you people? Well, first of all, let me just say I got kicked off social media. I had 83,000 Twitter followers on, and I had 5,000 Facebook friends, and I won't deny it. I bash Zionists and Israel and bring up all kind of things about 9/11. I guess they'd had enough of me, but X put me on what's the two-factor authentication, and when I tried to get the SMS code from them, they wouldn't give it to me, so I'm blocked out. And Facebook, I just tried to open a second account yesterday, and within 1 hour, they had disabled the account. So Heidi was kind enough to open this account for me, which I was amazed and appreciative, to enable me to come here today. And so I guess I'm pleading with you, since there's over 1,000 of you out there, and I've got a whopping 9 followers already, that you follow me today, if you believe in what I'm saying. And also, the big deal, we're trying to get out the information on the website 911pilots.org to 1 billion Muslims and the other 2 billion Muslims and 6 billion people on the planet Earth, okay? And we're asking you to contact government leaders and organizations and scholars and anyone you can get a hold of that could help us to establish this commission. So that's pretty much where we've been with 9/11 pilot whistleblowers. But a gent came in, there are 2 politicians in Washington, D.C., and I don't know if you've been following this, but Senator Ron Johnson, who's a Republican senator from Wisconsin, who chairs the Senate, I think it's Homeland Security Committee, wants to have an investigation into 9/11. And Congressman Kirk Weldon, who was a 20-year congressman, had big positions in Congress, okay? He is brought forth this, it's called Turning the Tide. It's in Washington, D.C., and Redacted is live streaming this on their website if you want to tune into it, because they've got 25 important 9/11 truth speakers over a 3-day period. It started today and yesterday, and is going into the today and tomorrow, where they're speaking. But Congressman Kurt Weldon is calling on Trump to launch an independent commission that doesn't include politicians to accept all this information that all the 9/11 truth people have out there, to have this special commission. But although I applaud their efforts, because myself and my colleagues have lost all faith and trust in the Zionist-owned and controlled U.S. government and Western governments and the Zionist-owned and controlled media, that I'm not confident that we'll get anywhere. So what have we done? We've gone out to the most wealthy, powerful, and influential Muslims in the world looking for sponsors. And we have a plan, but it needs financing. And hopefully we'll do things such as documentaries, go on speaking tours, etc., to spread the word about what I was just saying. So that's pretty much, I've got a few other points here. Oh, I can't miss Carl Schwartz. He would, who's Carl Schwartz, okay? Highly successful American businessman and entrepreneur named Carl Schwartz. He's an American that lives in Prague, the Czech Republic, and he's the CEO and managing director of a company called Tokata Nano Group, company that deals in nanotechnology. He is working with 9/11 investigators across 16 time zones, and they've compiled all this information, and I've seen it. I've seen a lot of it anyhow. He came to me and wanted to team up with us and other 9/11 truth groups. Well, Carl was one of the first 9/11 truthers on day one. He was very active. He spent $2 million of his own money on 9/11 truth and wound up writing a book, an 800-page book, in 6 months. He's a genius, called One Way Ticket to Crawford, about the Bush cabal. And what he's doing, I'll skip all the details here. He is going to file this massive RICO suit with civil remedy that names 250 high-ranking officials, including 3 former presidents, and names 2 million plaintiffs in this case. And I said, Carl, I don't think the court's gonna they're gonna toss your case. And he disagrees with me because the 3 former presidents, any judge that they appointed while they were in office, has to recuse himself from the case. So I'm more optimistic about what Carl's doing than what Senator Johnson and Kirk Weldon are doing. But oh no, can you hear me?
Dear Dan, yes, we can hear you, Dan. Can you hear me? Can you take some questions? Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us, Dan? What happened? Can you hear us, Dan? Oh, maybe he needs to recycle. Can you hear us? We heard everything that you said.
He's probably on his airplane.
Trillion, Keith, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's crazy how, and I believe it. Dan, are you there? Sort your audio out, please. Oh, I see that you're speaking. Speak again. Say something again, Dan. He's been through a lot. He lost over $40 million. Divorce with his family. They tried to make him mentally ill. They tried to say he was mentally ill. He ran straight to the best mental health counselor in Atlanta.
Can you hear me?
Cover his
Can you hear us, Dan?
Yes. Go ahead, Dan.
Can you hear us, Dan?
Can you hear me?
You can't hear us.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
It's like the Verizon commercial.
Here, we gotta recycle them, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, let me.
It's gonna be hard. All right, let's go. I dropped them.
It is gonna be hard.
Mic.
Hopefully.
Nope, he's still talking from the grave. That's into the mic. Hopefully that'll bring him right back up. Let me find him down there. Where is he? Can you send him a mic, Heidi? I'm trying to find him because he doesn't follow me.
While he's trying to come up,
yes.
I think the biggest tell about the whole thing is the audio of the Israelis with the Hebrew accent on the plane. You guys have heard that clip, right?
Well, I mean, he's saying there's no hijackers. I've heard that as well. The thing is about the Pentagon is just it's so funny. It's so loud.
What about Daniel Lewin?
I think
Jan,
can you hear us now, Jen?
Yeah, he's back up.
Okay, perfect. Yes, sir.
Okay,
all right.
How long was I talking to myself, or did I just cut off talking about?
No. We heard everything. We heard everything.
Okay.
We heard everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I got a few other things I could talk about. 9/11 pilot whistleblowers put out a documentary. It's not gotten very much viewership, but it's called 9/11: The Advent of the Ninth Crusade. And for anybody that's been in the truth movement for a while, most of the information is probably in there is elementary, but it was really designed for those who still believe the official 9/11 story. And I also have written my memoir, and I didn't do it to make money. I actually did it for my 2 kids, and I'll explain to that in a minute. And a co-author came along and said, you got a book here, let's write it, and we did. So it's called Grounded, the memoir of a 9/11 pilot whistleblower, and it tells all. But our website is dedicated to a captain named Philip Marshall. I don't know if our organization is actually dedicated to him because he paid the ultimate price for whistleblower. And if you're not familiar with his story, Captain Philip Marshall was a United 67 captain who had written 2 books on 9/11. One of them was called The Big Bamboozle, and the other one was called 9/11 False Flag. And he was writing a 3rd book, and he told his ex-wife, and neighbors, look, I'm being threatened about publishing this book. They're saying don't do it. And several days later, the neighbors found his family dog and 2 teenage kids shot to death. He had a bullet in his head, and the police deemed it a murder-suicide, that he had killed his kids and the dog and turned the gun on himself. And no further investigation was taken on this.
Oh my God. I just found it. I threw it up in the nest if people want to see what he's talking about. I found your post from before. Dan, I guess, with the thing, it shows a picture of him and his family. Hi, I'm Philip Marshall, former airline captain and author of a book that exposed the official 9/11 narrative as a lie. Weeks after my book was released, I was found dead with gunshot wounds to my head along with my 2 teenage kids and my family dog. Oh, man.
Yeah, and guess who the California Attorney General was that wouldn't investigate the case any further than what the local sheriff had investigated? You might recognize the name.
Harris?
Exactly. Exactly. So
who was it, John?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started it.
Go ahead. I was just gonna let my buddy Andrew jump in real quick, because Andrew, do you want to jump in and just give a little background on yourself?
Yeah, Captain Dan, again, every time I've spoken with you by email 2 or 3 times, sir, you break me down every time I hear you. I hear your voice. I'd just like to tell the listeners, yes, I'm retired U.S. Navy submarine warfare, but when I reached out to Captain Dan, he's a shipmate. People don't realize here, Captain Dan was a Navy pilot. This man has the highest levels of integrity, training, and people that don't know, military pilots have to go through the most extensive training. Now, I was in the submarine world, but I have my very close friends are fighter pilots. And so anyway, when Captain Dan, what he won't tell you, because he is such an honorable, very, very, very honorable man, and what he won't tell you, but I'm going to say it, he accomplished the highest levels within the United States military. Then when he went to United Airlines, the thousands of hours he busted his ass climbing up the ranks. United Airlines made him left seat. For those that don't know left seat, I do have a private pilot's license, like I was telling you, Captain Dan. They put him in the left seat. He is an experienced captain with thousands of hours. And what he has lost in his life, millions. Now, he's right over at 40 million, but it's in the tens of millions and millions of dollars he has lost that he could have had. He could have had the pinnacle. Once he retired from that, he would have been a consultant with 5 different contracting agencies with the FAA. He forfeited everything for that because he has a conscience. He is a man of God. He's committed, and he said, no, this must stop. I'm speaking out. And when he did that, many, many, many of his peers, and Captain Dan and I exchanged notes on this, many of his peers turned their back on him. He was shunned by the society. He was hated by the society. And now, he told you about the other Captain Marshall. Captain Dan he has to live in a foreign country. He's living in Pakistan. He feels safer over there. But what I'm saying is, please get out of any false narrative you're in. Listen to this man. And what he sacrificed. Thank you. I love you, Captain Dan. I love you all in the space. God bless.
I'm overwhelmed by your kind words there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll just mention real quick. When I spoke out in 2002, 2003, they actually medically grounded me in 2003 illegally. The FAA and United Airlines did, and that cost me a 27-year marriage over a period of time. We wound up in divorce, which alienated my 2 kids who blame me for the divorce. Still believe the official story. Think I'm a whacked out conspiracy nut and don't talk to me. That's my biggest loss. As you mentioned, it destroyed a 35-year career in aviation, my reputation as a pilot, and I didn't lose tens of millions. I only lost $4 million in paid pension and stock. But now I sit in Pakistan, surviving on my Social Security and a meager pension, all because I spoke out 21 years ago. So it's been a painful experience. I'm not hiding out over here in Pakistan. I fell in love and married a Pakistani in 2010, and we live here happily ever since. But I will say this, that when I enter or leave the United States, I'm stopped by the FBI and CSA for interrogation. And the first time this happened, it was real spooky to me because we hadn't been to the States for several years. And I made reservations on Qatar Airways through Doha to Atlanta to visit my sister. And the day I made the reservations, the FBI in Washington calls my ex-wife in Washington and wanted to know everything about my trip. My sister called me and said, the FBI is looking for you. And I went, whoa. So I called them in Washington and said, what's up? I hear you looking for me. Well, they were taken back that I knew, wanted to know how I knew, and they wouldn't share anything with me. So I said to my wife, look, something's going to happen when we get to the United States. I didn't know if they'd arrest me or whatever, but sure enough, we get into the immigration hall, passport control, and my wife went over to the foreigner's line. I'm in the domestic line, and a couple minutes later, a man and a woman escorting her over to my position. And he introduced himself as an FBI agent, and she was a TSA agent. They asked if I had time for questions, and I said, sure, I was expecting you. Well, he took us over to an immigration officer. There was no line. It said stamp their passports, and when he got in his computer to look me up, he whipped his head around to this FBI agent and said, hey, this guy's red, you know. He goes, yeah, we know. Well, I didn't ask him what that meant, but I didn't think it was anything good. And they took us into a room, and they wanted phone numbers on where I was going to be at, et cetera, et cetera. No big deal, but I thought that was the end of it. And a month later, we're returning to the States, and we just cleared through security, and we're walking out down this busy concourse, and another FBI agent and TSA agent come up behind us going, you got time for questions? I'm going, wow, they know what we look like and what flight we're coming in on, and they're doing this. So they took us into a room, and this time it was about a half hour. And this is where I discovered they knew everything about me. They knew about my Navy background. He said, we want to thank you for your 10 years service in the Navy. We appreciate your service to the country. We respect your First Amendment freedom of speech rights. But have you ever been threatened? I don't know, why should I be concerned about that? And they asked me that a few times. But I thought it was peculiar they would ask that. They were asking me such questions as, are you flight instructing in Pakistan? And with that question, my wife, who was in the room with me, we're sitting in chairs, buries her head in her.
Is it happening again, guys?
Yes. Let's see. Unmute. See if you can unmute, Dan, and you should hopefully be good to go. Click that mute button in the bottom left, the mic button. I don't know why it randomly does that. Mute right for him.
He's on the PC, so where would it be on the PC? Still the bottom
I'm
left?
not sure, to be honest. He unmuted before.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Anyhow, long story short, I'm making this too long. They knew everything about me. And now, because I've done much more than just post on social media, because I didn't mention, besides writing letters to these organizations and governments, we reached out to Malaysia, Indonesia, we reached out to China and Russia, because not only are we claiming that the 9/11 aircraft were electronically hijacked and remotely controlled, there's at least 4 other aircraft incidents like Malaysia 370 and Malaysia 17, Russian Metrojet 9268, and Chinese 5735, all of who we claim were snatched out of the air by this uninterruptible autopilot system. I'm not going to get into details about what each flight involved, but because I've contacted these governments and I'm exposing something big, that there were no Muslims involved in the 9/11 aircraft, hijacking of the 9/11 aircraft. I'm a spokesperson for this group, and I'm the big mouth, but I know they don't like what I'm saying, and I'm actually concerned about my welfare should I go back to states because of what happened on January 6th in Washington, where you wound up with these innocent people thrown in prison because of a crime they claim they committed. And I don't know that I haven't violated some little-known provision of the Patriot Act, and I'm not going to take.
You're right there.
I'm not going to take a chance.
I talk about John Kiriakou all the time, that he's an ex-CIA agent who blew the whistle on the Bush and Cheney torture program, and they put him in jail for 2 to 3 years, and they got him on espionage. They were trying to get him on espionage. They got him on some random charge, like you said, even though he did nothing wrong. But they got him, and he was looking at life, but he, luckily, I guess they gave him a plea deal. But yeah, you're right. I mean, as we know from January 6th, they violated everyone's rights, and obviously we got Snowden and Julian Assange and other people, but John Kiriakou is a shining example of blew the whistle, and he did everything right. He went through the proper channels, everything, but they got him on some weird technicality of like saying one person's name to a reporter like 8 years before or something, and then stacked the deck in charges and said, here you go, life or take this like 2-year sentence. So yeah, that's probably your best route there. So do you mind if we go to some questions here? And I just want to say thank you for coming, and thank you for your service and everything that you've gone through and everything you've suffered through to expose everything you have. I really want to say thank you for all that.
You're welcome, and thank you for having on, so I appreciate it. Yeah, let's go to questions. I hope I can answer them all.
Hey, Dan, I got a quick one, and we'll go to the actual speakers. Have you spoken to Ashton Forbes about MH370? Do you know Ashton?
Yes, I have, and I know what he's claiming, and that goes beyond the scope of our organization. We just say that it was electronic hijacking. He contacted me, and I gave him a 66-page document on the uninterrupted autopilot. He thanked me very much. He doesn't explain the initial part of how it got out to where his film takes over the airplane and does strange things to it. But yeah, I do know him.
Yeah. So Raid or Mud, one of you guys, whichever one you guys both were at the same time. So I don't know who wants to go first, or Mud or Raid.
Mud's been waiting for a little bit.
Mud, all right, we'll go Mud, then we'll go with my man Raid. What's up, Mud, brother?
Hey, thank you. Thank all of you, Dan. Thank you so much for what you do. You are a hero, an American hero. You should be awarded medals for what you're doing. And I think eventually that will happen, because this movement is not going to stop. Now, I don't know if this was mentioned before, but the apparent aircraft that was used, the N888KG, this is tied to what happened to Charlie. And the reason I bring this up is the Luxury Aircraft Solutions company that advertised that plane that was used and its member charter fleet has delisted the plane from its website, and the owner-operator of the plane has not reached out for any kind of retraction or any kind of information. So I find that very interesting, and I don't mean to mix subjects, but it's just something that was brought to my attention, and I wasn't sure if you guys were aware of it. And I think this does two things. This really exposes 9/11 for what it is, because they're going to try to push this to the left in their false narrative, but it's not believed anymore. These influencers that are trying to spin this stuff are getting ratioed like never before. This is never going to work. They are not going to pull the wool over our eyes ever again. These morons use the same toolbox from a dusty old tool bag over and over, and use the same tactics that we can pre-script and write their whole scenario within, 12 hours, 18 hours, right? The FBI is worthless. Right. They don't have an authority to look at this. It's the American people that come up with the actual truth in breakneck time. And God bless America. God bless Americans and everyone in this room and every single person that exposes this ilk, because by deception they wage war. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, they've declared it on us a long time ago. We can't stand for this anymore. Thank you.
Here, I agree. Thank you.
Amen. Absolutely. Thank you, Mud. Do you want to say something, John? Then we go to Ray.
Hi Dan, and everybody on the panel. This is, and I'm so sorry, 9/11. This is a, sore spot for all of us, and I just want us to all think about everyone that we lost, and all the wars that came afterwards. Such a crime. But Dan, I wanted to know if you knew anything about Atasco, and that is connected to the Eisenberg group. It's Shaul Eisenberg. He notoriously was a Mossad agent that worked out of China. The Eisenberg or Atasco is the American sister arm aircraft company of the Israeli version, which is IAI, which is partially owned by the IDF Air Force. And they're known for retrofitting planes, buying up TWA Pan Am at the time, planes like 707s, 747s, 767s, and probably much more, and retrofitting and refurbishing them as cargo planes, refuelers, and or military, or have missiles attached. I wanted to know if you knew anything about that. Hello? Me?
Yeah, you said, oops, cycle there.
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Let's recycle real quick. Had to recycle so you can hear Dan, so I'll send you a mic. Just like before, you'll be able to pop right back up. Sometimes it does that.
He's got the hang of it now.
Is he back up? I'm looking down here for him.
Wait, were you able to hear me or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. Is he back up? I'm looking down here.
He's not back up yet.
Yes, he's
Oh, here he is.
He's back up. Dan's connecting. There he goes.
Now he's gone again.
And you got us. You're on mute.
No, he's there. Dan, go ahead and unmute if you can.
There I am. There we go.
Did you hear anything I said, or should I?
Yes, I heard about the Eisenberg group. I have to be honest with you, I've never heard of this before, so this is the first for me.
Well, Atasco, it was an American company, but the sister arm is a IAI. I think it stands for Israeli Air something. Inc. maybe. I forget. I need to look that up. But it's IAI, and this was owned by Eisenberg Group. And what they did, what they would do, this company was known for buying up Pan Am and TWA, old commercial airliners, and then retrofitting them, or I'm not sure what the right word is, into cargo planes, refuelers, and then even adding military attachments to them. This company was also linked to selling Idi Amin in Uganda, as well as Gaddafi in Libya, the planes to their airlines, which subsequently ended up blowing up, if you guys recall. This is the Eisenberg Group. This was Shaul Eisenberg is actually a Jew or Mossad agent that grew up, was born in Shanghai. There's actually quite a few of these Shanghai Betar, what are they called? Betar militias that were organized but out of China. Coincidentally, Zim Shipping used to be owned by Eisenberg Group, and they were the ones in charge of taking the rubble and also shipping it off to China, which made absolutely no economic sense because of the price of steel and etc. It was why would you do that? But the theory is that because this Shaul Eisenberg, he also had connections into when they tried to buy the security the first time around at the World Trade Center in 1993 bombing. Some guy named Shalom, they rescinded that security contract, but then they got back in through Kroll Associates getting the security contract. Either way, this Eisenberg character and Eisenberg group has enormous amount of connections between these co-conspirators in 9/11, and it's rarely even talked about. And because they used to have an airline company, I was wondering if you've heard heard of it at all, or if I'm sure you've heard of companies like it, maybe, or if you could touch on that. Thank you so much.
Sure. Like I said, I've never heard of the group you're talking about, or Saul Eisenberg, which I know isn't an Irish name. But I'll look into it because we don't go that far beyond what I talked about, the uninterrupted autopilot and what it does. And people we've talked to that have brought us information on it, but that name's never come up before. I'll look into it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yes, thank you, Dan. Ray, go ahead, Ray. My man.
Yes, thanks, and thanks Heidi for introducing this wonderful man to us, Captain Hadley. I'm a Lebanese, I live in Lebanon, and I would like to tell you, sir, with so much respect, it just makes my heart huge. That's a Lebanese saying, but it just heartens me so much to see that there are men in this world that are made of titanium, and when they decide to tell truth about that and all the sacrifice that cost them, they refuse to yield. They refuse to not fight for the truth.
Hey, we lost all our people. That dude must have been boring as hell. I was operating. I just got back, so I wasn't able to really listen in because I had to listen to my radio giving me orders and shit. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it a little bit. Apparently nothing was boring. Well, that's good. I'm gonna flip it back on or turn the sound back up. I am the pilot speaking. I appreciate y'all hanging out, and I'm gonna just jump back into this video.
Oh, so many Hollywood movies, so many series, so much was done and said about us that has no place in the truth, because I've done my 9/11 research in 2004, and by 2006 I was sure as who the party that did it. But I want to tell you something, sir. I think God has decided, you're gonna get vindicated in front of your children, in front of your family, in front of your neighbors, your community, because times have changed, Captain Hadley. People are awake. The generation Z is awake. There is social media, and I would tell anyone that is listening who says that they are American, who says that they love their country, I cannot believe that not all of us now have followed that man on Twitter. And I also say to everyone, if you feel you want to do something good for your country, because that attack was the biggest lie that humanity has ever gone through. And I think as a good human being, as an American, you must follow that man. And I say, if you know your TikTok and you know your Instagram, you support that man, you create pages for him, you run with that truth. I think it is time for us all, humanity, all of it, to get the truth about that thing and relieve the unfairness, because I remember in 2000.
It only promotes it for a little bit and then it'll stop. If I stopped the stream and restarted it, if I started a new stream, we could get another bunch of people in here. Hey, which speaker name was the pilot, so I can follow him? It was Dan? I think it was Dan, because I was able to follow him while he was talking. Oh shit. Dan Hammond.
But I still remember the surname. He wrote a book connecting
9/11 and a credible guy.
My phone is lagging like crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to
My
stop
book
the
is
space.
Solving 9/11. Like BOLLYN.
I
fucking drive you. I'll put a red carpet.
Alright, hold on. Let me see if I can get my phone to. My phone is acting absolutely retarded. I don't know if y'all can see what's going on, but it's all locked up. So I'm gonna shut down this stream